Wait, about the whole debate you guys had in VC. Hold on, one second on this. Oh, look, Gamma. No, hey, Junk, that was a different debate. It didn't matter. Okay, hold on.
Moderate.
Gamma.
Hello, Gama.
Wait, hold on. I just want to say, I am being proven correct on all fronts here. Young Jordan crashing out at green right now literally proves not to death.
Wow, you're like Nostradamus. You're a regular old Nostradamus.
Everything else is self-explanatory. Junk Jordan thinks Snark to death by green. Junk Jordan is pissed off by green.
I've had this debate.
I don't think that's happening.
2 times.
Gamma, I think you're being bad faith here.
0-3, Gamma. 0-4 from your last 3-month crash out. 2 months ago, your last crash out. You're still 0-4.
I won retroactively.
What he's specifically pissed off is Green's behavior due to his dislike for you. I don't think he's mad at Green as a whole.
I'm critiquing some aspects of Junk's character here. I'm learning that this guy he's too nice and he's too willing to let things slide. And then he'll lie to you and say it's because DGG's at the gate.
That's literally like I said.
That's
I don't really care to fight with Gamma right now because there's
kind of like a Taco Bell
that are like more relevant. Like
wait. Willie Mac and who? Willie Mac and who? It's kind of like a Taco Bell.
Just more like a pizza.
Are you literally Gamma? Are you referencing?
I'm just saying this is very. I'm just saying that this is very, very like reminiscent. I'm getting like a lot of deja vu, except it's this time it's like
this is like when you were screaming at Perry in that one VC like a year ago, kind of like you would say, right? Or this is kind of like you screaming, or this is kind of like you screaming at me, Junk, and Jimmy on stream like a few months ago.
Why are you getting so mad? Why are you getting so like? Why are you getting audibly angry?
I'm helping you pick a better analogy.
Like, why is this guy, Junk? What's this guy's problem? Why is he so mad?
He's literally just like, why do you not hate Gamma?
Well, hold on. To be fair, guys, the last time they talked last stream they talked, the whole thing, Gamma went on for about an hour about how much he hates Green. I hate you, argumentation, pretty much.
I could say that like 10 million times.
No.
You can't pretend like this is one-sided, Gamma.
It goes both ways.
Gamma, we've had our debates. You did not deal with them healthily, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to help. I feel like I dealt
with them pretty healthily. I'm in a perfect headspace, actually.
I'm glad to hear that you're doing better now that you're drinking buzz balls alone on the beach in Miami.
Green.
I'm happy to hear that you're doing better.
Jimmy, I just want to point out that this guy is like seething and molding, and I'm out here enjoying life, and he's seething and molding.
No, because he has a reason to seethe and mold. Because the last time on stream, you were going at him for you guys were going about how much you hate him, and I hate you. And then I know you're like, I'm fine now. I'm fine.
I was actually, contextually, Jimmy, I was mainly concerned about why this guy's crashing out over the Samantha void.
What?
Oh, okay, I'm talking about the stream from like 2.5 months ago or some shit.
What are you talking about, bro? Is
it true that Green got cucked by Salvo?
No. Are you like grasping for straws? Are you like? Hold on, Gamma.
No, I just wasn't paying attention.
On you, Gamma.
No, I just wasn't paying attention to the stream. No more
useless derails or pivots from you, okay? Peanut Gallery, please. Enough. So Gamma, my issue right here is I'm pointing out to Junk. The Junk is enabling you because Gamma, quite frankly, your crash out from 2 months ago. It's like when an autistic person shits their pants, punches a hole in the wall, and like maybe kills the family dog. What you did was abhorrent, despicable, and for a while you were radioactive.
Why?
That's true.
Why, Gamma? Because you pretty much told everybody that you hate everybody because they don't watch you, they snark you, and you don't actually really care to like talk to anybody. You're not interested in making friends at all.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so it contradicts. You're entitled to lie because what you said is a lie. You come into YouTube chat, you're always begging for attention from people. Hi, Gamma. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Ali Khan. You're always trying
I think that the last time I watched one of your streams was yesterday and today. Is that not true?
Well, you only started watching again after I joined Nuki again.
What does that,
What does that have to do with anything?
Well,
Gamma?
doesn't change anything.
That's because I assumed that you were also equally as like chilled out as me. So I thought it was like, you know.
I don't think it's
fine,
we're both
like,
chilled out equally. I just don't give a shit to keep litigating it.
Gamma, it doesn't.
Okay,
It's
so
not
yeah,
about,
I feel like that.
chill,
I feel like
Gamma.
that means that there's no.
Okay,
I
well,
feel
then
like
let
that
you
just
finish.
there's no like, you know.
No,
I
Green's
feel like
still right here,
there's
though.
no animosity, you know.
Gamma,
I feel like there's no animosity.
Gamma.
Perfect.
Stop filibustering, you spick babbling mutt. Shut up.
Well, you're the one who's
listen to me now.
actually.
Listen to me now. Get the buzz balls out of your mouth. I know you're drinking alone on the beach right now. Calm down. Just listen. Okay, that's your job right now. You're listening to me now.
I'm in my car right now, actually.
It's
great.
It's like
so Gamma,
2 a.m.
the issue here, Gamma,
Yeah.
is that you crashed out gloriously. You were radioactive, and
really.
for some reason, you lied. You contradicted yourself a trillion different ways that night.
Not really.
And
Nope, not really.
now, yes, you
Not
did.
really.
So you're still
Nope, not
unwilling
really.
to take the L on anything.
Nope, not really.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I didn't take the L on anything. I'm
unwilling to concede that you crashed out. You're still unwilling to do
Green's
that.
saying you're a known liar. He's been demonstrating that.
You're a fucking liar. You do care about, you do want to talk to people. I see you in Nuki chat when you were talking to Nope in Nuki chat. When he was saying, weren't you in love with Goat Kato? And you said, no, attention is different from validation. I want validation because I want a girl to acknowledge that I reached a healthy goal, like being fit. That's why you sent the photo to Goat Kato, your Instagram. And I'm thinking, this guy's lying right here. This guy's lying. Yeah, he did. It's still a Nuki chat. It's still a Nuki chat. Type in that keyword with Nope.
Yeah, why would I delete anything? I don't have any intentions of hiding anything.
Thanks for clarifying that. So yeah, calm down. It's not that serious. Please don't cry.
No, I yawned.
Okay, so Gamma, the problem here is because you are unequivocally, categorically known as like the spurgiest person in this space. You know, right up alongside Soul Skibbity. But
Can you skip to the finish?
We hold Soul Skibbity accountable. Hold on, pause. We hold Soul Skibbity accountable.
What is there to take accountability for?
For some reason, with you, when you can't concede on the fact that you crashed out, you were totally irrational.
I don't have to concede on anything.
Yes, you do, because
no, I don't.
Now you're trying
There's nothing. There's accountability suggests that I have to like.
Gamma, unfortunately, Gamma, for you, Gamma, when you're still trying to weasel your way in, for example, the known thought leader, Junk Drawer Gaming.
This really just isn't working. I think you should just give it up. It's not even like interesting.
Gamma?
It's not even fun. Going on like the same diaries that you've been trying to go in on like for cycles.
Gamma, you're gonna listen now. Okay, Gamma, I'm talking to you right now.
You're like pulling out all of the party tricks that you've had for like the last 10 years.
Filibustering. Gamma, you're filibustering right now. Please stop.
I don't think you understand what that word means.
Moderator, I'm asking you to tell this guy to shut up so I can get my point out.
You continuously saying, oh, that doesn't matter. Oh, this doesn't matter. It doesn't make it matter less.
Yeah, because it doesn't.
Gamma,
it genuinely doesn't matter. He's trying to like do what here exactly?
But do you not? I'm just gonna talk over Gamma. I feel like you look up to me a little bit. You know, I have sort of what you want. And I think that, well, yeah, I mean, you like try to mimic my chat, you try to mimic my persona.
I feel like enough time has passed to where we can determine that's just fundamentally not true, considering I haven't cared to acknowledge literally anything after.
Yeah, because you don't want to acknowledge it because you're allergic to taking accountability and conceding on even the smallest, tiniest thing ever. That's your problem. You are allergic.
As somebody you look up to, you don't have to admit it. That's fine. Everyone else.
I don't have. I don't look up to you.
Well, Gamma, here's the issue. I think that you're radioactive, buddy. Still.
Radioactivity would imply that you can't be around me when the reality is that I just like made myself into my own like I just pushed I pulled myself away and I feel like that's entirely fine.
You invited everyone over to you. That's not.
It's also just a lie though. I see you in Snarky VC. I see you in Donda. You're going to other ones around, just not Icy, pretty much.
Yeah, you're literally every other spot, but fucking.
Yeah, but like I don't I don't engage as much in any space. You can like
That doesn't
use
matter.
like
You still
the example
engage.
examples.
You're still
I don't
engaging.
engage.
You're there.
Doesn't matter. You still engage. You're asking to be let into every chat. That's not icy chat, buddy.
By that extended logic, I should just like not engage at all, right?
Yeah, if you don't engage at all.
Okay.
If you're just gonna be like okay.
So he's gonna leave. He's gonna use it as an excuse to leave. Did he just do that? Did he do that?
Yeah.
Wait, Gamma's calling back in. Hold on, he's calling back in.
Okay, hold on, let me pull him
Oh,
back
because you
in.
got him to apologize. You're like me with Soul Skibbity. That's pretty much. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, he's joining to say sorry to everyone. That's actually why. That's why.
You better. That's all I want to hear.
Let's call him back in. Hello, Gamma.
Yo.
Yeah.
All right. Let's begin with like beginning of Nuki chat at its inception, right?
Go ahead, sport.
So while it is true that I invited like a handful of people after going through my DMs list, I remember inviting off of my list of the available DMs that I have. There could be like two other people. I remember specifically inviting Michael, Big Prob, Jack King, Dave, and there might have been like two others. Might have been two others. I remember they specifically wanted to join. I specifically asked them to join because they were like torn about the whole London situation. They're kind of
so
upset.
Let's exclude those four. Okay, no, let's exclude those four.
Yeah.
Would you say that the rest it was just like natural?
I would say that the rest was like mostly natural up to like 90%. Because at the time, hold on, slow down. At the time, the server was at 160 members, right? 160 members at the time. And I remember as we were conversing in VC, it was myself, Dickers, Tazapine, Raven, and a couple of other individuals that joined the VC. And then this was around like maybe 6 or 5 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock, around the time when the Tom news dropped. So the Tom news dropped. Somebody else joins. I remember Ryle joins. Everybody's talking about the Tom allegations. And that's when Nuki Chat, that was when like around Nuki Chat was already active for like about 30, 40 minutes, an hour at most, right? It was literally brand fucking new. And all you had there was just nothing but Tom posting. There was like fucking 20 people in VC. And within that very same day, at least 80 members joined. And we were up in members in the server for like 220 members. So there's no way that I could have.
So the active period of Nuki, where people were actually using the chat, you'd say 90% of that had absolutely nothing to do with what I was doing.
With me inviting them. With me inviting them, I wouldn't say had 90% with me inviting them.
You said natural.
And as a matter of fact, ever since then, I mean, the server kept growing up to like 260.
Wow.
Right. That's not even two flags. It's just to like put it into perspective. If I'm not really streaming, if I'm not really making content, if I'm like largely inactive from creating content, how the fuck could I have ever like brought in that many people into the server?
We're saying you brought
we're all from
people. You were like my backup for people. A lot of people. That's the point. Like,
you're implying that I actively took like chatters from IC chat as like an active campaign when that wasn't the case.
No, you were just talking about it in IC, inviting members in IC, and the activity surged there as a result.
But that's not even true. I think the most you'll see is like see me inviting David.
No, you're lying. You're lying. Let me at him. I got this. Look, no. Okay, so great. I like how you phrase from the inception. Up until what point do you think that you started inviting every single person in IC to join your team?
No point. That never happened.
That did happen. Yes, it did. Are you lying to me?
Prove it.
No. Really? Okay.
Yeah, prove it.
I got invited to fucking Nuki chat. How about we ask everybody in IC chat to find Nuki chat? And odds are, like you just said, 90% of them are going to say, I got invited. People are asking for me to join.
People were asking me. Yeah, but do you think that happened because I put in like a fucking campaigner command? It just happened because it was just like what was naturally popping off.
Yes,
to the end.
That's
in
fundamentally
Nuki
not true. That's
You're in
fundamentally
Nuki
not
chat,
true.
Gamma.
And
You're
that's
lying.
fundamentally
You're fucking lying to me. Do not lie to me.
That's fundamentally not true. And
Okay.
anybody who was around, anybody who was in that VC at the time could tell you that's not true because we were talking about the Tom stuff.
Okay.
And also,
that's
also
one Gamma.
that could not have
It's
been
wonderful.
true.
That means
That
nothing,
could not
Gamma.
have been true within that
VC?
time span because I went live shortly after to immediately cover the Tom stuff.
Do you know the difference between?
Gamma,
Wait, hold on,
how many viewers do you think you got from your Turkey Tom stream?
How I could have collected that many people?
Kidding me right now?
No, we're making a mistake. We're conflating people being physically present in a server with usage of the server. I don't dispute that we probably had a lot of people that were already in your server, just like I'm in a lot of servers that I don't use. The claim is about like those people going from merely people in the server to active users as well, right?
I mean, for a short time, because of the Tom stuff, there was just like a bunch of random individuals that just became very, very active. And
so
I remember,
would you say most of the surge in activity was because of the Tom stuff at that point in time?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Up until what point? Up until what point?
Up until what point? Up until I want to say that it was like that for the following 3 weeks. And funnily enough, one of the people who remained active, who I don't believe was in your server, that came naturally from like the activity of my server was Nosferatu.
Okay, that's great, wonderful. So here's the thing: you're trying to lie here. Okay, I'm not going to move on until I acknowledge where you tried to lie. So for some reason, when I say you planned at some point after Nuki was made that you wanted to make a replacement for Icy. Then you tried to invoke, oh, no. Anybody who was in the VC with me before Nuki Chat was created can tell you that wasn't what I was doing. No, when I'm telling you, no, Gamma, when I am telling you to your face that after Nuki was made, you continued, you pivoted. The moment that chat was made, you can say that the intention was to make a Turkey Town replacement. Shut up.
You're conflating.
You can
I don't have to shut up. You're
can lie to me, Gamma. Gamma, you can lie to me. Gamma, you can lie to me and say.
You're conflating.
Are you trying to filibuster right now? Or are you going to let me fucking talk?
Wait, I'm so curious how your like thought process works. You, in all honesty, are asserting, like you think, hypothetically speaking.
All right, let me go first.
Hold on. Can I just say this real quick? London never happens. I don't even go to London. Okay, I never go to London. Nothing ever happens, right? You think that the resurgence in activity in Nuki and its given usage from around the time of London and the months following, most of that would have been the same.
I think had you never gone to London and put yourself in a position where a lot of people like felt very jaded towards you, I don't even think Nuki would have been made. I don't think that I would have like felt that there was like a necessity to I don't think that I would have been alienated from a community to a point where I felt like I wanted to just do my own thing.
Let's say you make Nuki. Let's say everything's the same except I don't go to London. You still make Nuki for maybe some other reason. You feel jaded with me somehow. Do you think the activity in there would have been mostly the same?
Do I think the activity would have been mostly the same? No, because most of the stuff in regards to Tom would have been consolidated between two main servers, which would have been you and Spicy Chat.
I'd like to speak next, if I may.
Hold on. Is that not like a perfectly accurate?
Hypothetical. Your dead fucking chat would be dead chat if you didn't try to poach every Icy chatter. And here's why.
That's the thing. I didn't poach anybody.
Yes or no, Gamma? Yes or no? Were you in Nuki chat telling people, oh my God, I can't believe there's still an Icy. Telling them and Nuki to come talk in Nuki.
What point? What's the timeline here? What's the frame of reference?
Did it ever happen? Did it ever happen?
Okay.
Yes.
Did it happen?
Yes.
I want to say it happened after Aiden did the first. Oh, we're gonna do a Nuki walkout, and I just engage with it for the fuck of it.
No.
Yes.
That's not true at all. That is a lie.
That is true.
Face lie. You're lying to me right now. I hate when you lie.
Prove it.
You're fucking lying to me. Okay. Well,
Jimmy, wait, hold on.
deleted.
Jimmy, hold on. I'm pretty sure because like Jimmy was pretty like engaged in this as well. I'm pretty sure even Jimmy and I discussed like the whole Nuki walkout, and we discussed about how gay it was, and we'll just say fuck it, we'll just like bring more people over. But it was after the Nuki walkout. I don't think it was before that. But even then, after that, it would just be like
it was always this shit. It was first day. You were like, you were in a call with like Dickers, Junk, and a couple other people in your general, and you're like, oh, let's just make Nuki chat. And you told other people to invite people, give everyone Nuki chat.
Well, here's Jimmy. What was going on before you joined with Dickers, or before you joined and after Dickers? Because I remember you were one of the first people in that VC. I was making a Nuki chat prior to any of the what's it called, other bullshit. But that was mostly an attempt to like make my own fucking thing so that I can focus in on my own thing, right? And then I asked you, could you help me create and do roles for this chat? That's not a lie. This is actually just what played out. I'm pretty sure Jimmy isn't gonna fucking contest me on this. And
no, I'm not talking about this.
I don't see how it's relevant.
You right now lying
you
right now.
See how it's
relevant?
Well, it adds to the timeline and the details of it.
It's a fucking lie.
Right?
The timeline here doesn't really matter.
What I'm leading up to.
You're a snake oil salesman. You're a snake oil salesman. You're trying to recontextualize to people that had not seen these
chat. But after we created the chat, is when I did ask you and a couple of other people, who else do we know we're cool with that would like to join so that we can talk about this. And in regards to like a mass influx of people fucking joining, a mass influx of other people getting invited, that wasn't like in relation to just me asking for you to like invite.
Nothing that you said. You never once went into DMs. Hold on, Jimmy. Do not look. Jimmy, pause. Don't do anything yet.
Okay.
Irrelevant. I already answered that. Irrelevant. I already answered that. Irrelevant. I already answered because I already answered.
Reader? Are you a fucking mind reader?
Because you're gonna ask me, did I ever once not go into DMs to ask somebody to join? I already said I already gave a list of people that I do definitively remember asking to join. There's no point in asking the question. Was Shelby in that list? I believe Shelby was on that list. Yes, I asked Shelby to join.
It wasn't actually my fucking question, you stupid sped. You stupid sped. You're mind reading right now. That's very unlikable. That wasn't my question, you fucking mind reading retard. My question right now to you, Gama,
was mostly just one-sided.
Well, hold on, Gama. Stop feeding your own ego. Hold on.
You go ahead.
Gama, listen to me now. Listen to me now.
You're actually irrelevant in this conversation. I'd rather just like
no, because I have a very groundbreaking.
Go ahead and ask your
question.
What
is your goal here? No, shut up. You're gonna talk to me now. Okay, he's not. You're not. Don't look at him. Look at me. Gama, what is your goal right now by trying to talk about your original intention for Nuki chat when we can all agree?
We're starting from the very beginning, so we can clear up some misconceptions and like chill and don't have anything to be aggressive about.
To me, little buddy, I'm not listening to you.
Question.
No, my question hasn't even been fucking asked yet. My question here is, what's your point? Yes, Gama, you might have started Nuki chat under trying to get some Turkey Tom attention. But what we're really trying to get to the meat. That's not what
happened. It just happened coincidentally. That's literally what occurred.
The meat here, Gama. The meat here is that did you or did you not, when Nuki chat was maybe starting to pop off, at what point did you decide I'm going to turn this into a full-on IC replacement and start going and poaching every single IC chatter, going into DMs with every single IC chatter,
first
and get them
and
to join Nuki chat?
First and foremost, that's not something that I initiated. That's literally something that had been initiated by doing the Nuki walkout, and I just entertained it, which led into like the whole argument that Aiden and I had on Quaven's stream.
You think me
that's
doing
literally
the Nuki walkout? You think that was like the first competitive part? That was the first.
I definitely feel like that was the first competitive part that initiated it all. Yes.
Okay, so
I was frustrated. I will say I was frustrated, like literally upon first thing, and I'm pretty sure most of us were frustrated upon first thing because it just seemed very like tension seeky.
Really, it wasn't attention seeking. Was it attention?
I mean, that's where the whole like joke is. Like that's where the whole joke stemmed from, and I'm pretty sure that was even like that's where the whole joke stemmed from, and about like if you rejoin Icy, you're fucking cattle. That's where the joke stemmed from. It's from doing the the Nuki walkout.
That's post talk.
And by the way, I think I vividly remember that Junk Door was the one who made the cattle joke. If you rejoin,
post talk. Anybody
that's not post talk. I'm giving you like a line of events and how they occurred.
That is a post-cock fallacy, Gamma. Listen to me.
No, it isn't.
You have said
No, it
it
isn't.
in VC
Post-cock?
before. You have discussed
then go ahead.
at length trying to get people to come into Nuki, Gamma.
Why are people
Gamma.
claiming you were gloating about Icy dying if I was the one that initiated this competition?
Because that might have happened after the fact that you were doing that. Have you considered that?
That was after I did the first Nuki walkout.
It might have been after the second. It might have been after the second and third and fourth try. Actually.
Oh, okay.
You're such a lying weasel.
It might have been after the second, third, or fourth try. Actually, I don't remember when those messages actually took place, but it would be nice to have a date set for that so that we can cross on it.
The first Nuki walkout happened at it was either at the very end of January. No, yeah, it was at the very end of February.
Way after the
beginning.
No, it's not. January 22nd is not the beginning of January.
No, I'm saying or because I don't have visibility to an exact date. That's just my.
I did because the whole Nuki.
Your frame of reference is bullshit. You're a fucking liar. You believe your own lies.
January 22nd, and then the second one occurred on January 24th, and then the third one happened on February 5th.
I'm gonna be entirely honest with you. I'm not gonna deny that I made those messages, but I also don't specifically remember making those messages.
I can believe you're not remembering that. I can believe
making the mess. Wow, that's a great contribution. I can't remember saying something, but you said it. Okay, great. That's wonderful, Gamma. Let's not get stuck in the weeds here for a second, because that's all you do. You filibuster and you try to confuse.
I haven't getting stuck in the weeds. You're the one that's trying to bring it back to something that was already addressed.
No,
unironically, you're making this conversation. Again. You're making this conversation very sandbag. You're dragging it down.
No, Gamma, listen to me now.
Can we move on to the next point?
Let's move on to the first point because we're not even done addressing it. So your overall goal here, tell me if this is fair to say. You are trying to say here that you were not poaching Icy chatters and you weren't trying to kill Icy chat and there wasn't a coordinated campaign to get every Icy chatter into Nuki. And the reason
there wasn't a coordinated campaign. I think you would be very hard pressed to prove that.
The reason being.
Wait. How come? Can I ask a question? If there was
because you started it with Turkey Tom. You started it because of Turkey Tom. That means that nothing that you did at any point in Nuki chat was ever trying to get every single person.
7K would have in fact been another person that I asked. That's true.
Okay.
That's one. That's what we're talking about.
Well, I did say they might have been 2 more people.
I only just asked every active member.
Gemma, you know what? Here's the goal here: is that if I was
also,
to go through
I feel like I feel like not bringing up the very obvious aspect to this. There's obviously going to be friends and friends of friends that want their friends to join another server where everybody's active. Is going to be their own prerogatives and not necessarily something as a result of it.
For sure. That totally happens, right? I just don't think that was the main driving force.
Gamma, you've driven us so far off to the weeds. Now we have to stop and look at the map.
Can you prove that there was a main driving force? Because seemingly nobody has the direct answer to that. Besides a handful of DMs from adjacent people and maybe 1 or 2 from me.
See, so you're trying to get some plausible deniability because most of the people who are watching now maybe weren't active at the time or maybe they just don't remember. But I do. I have a great memory. And because you've been trying to drive us into the fucking weeds for so long.
I'm not trying to drive us into the weeds. We're actually going out there from the very beginning of the situation.
Tell me if I'm being fair. Tell me if I'm being fair right now. Your goal right now to say that you did not coordinate a campaign to make every Icy chatter into Nuki.
I just straight up didn't.
The reason being, the evidence that you listed was, I might have sent 7 people it, but I can't remember doing it. And also, when I started,
and to be very clear, I think that some people even denied joining because they disliked me. So your point just goes down a little bit further.
He's trying to shut me up. He will not.
And then a couple of people just straight up denied joining the server because they didn't want to be in a server where I was at.
Hold on.
Point out, Gamma. Can you let me point out,
guys?
Gamma, can you let me point out why the evidence that you're fucking pointing out is bullshit and why it doesn't point out what you're trying to prove here? Okay, when we're saying, Gamma, that
I would assume that if I'm trying to coordinate a mass exodus of hundreds of people, I would have to have a massive campaign where I'm propagandizing people to join the server.
Hey, I know you stupid fucking
you're taking too long to get to a point that I already
freak.
understand. I
You
already answered the point. We can move forward.
Adderall, little
You know
fucking
what?
kid.
I have
I
a
need you to
great
keep your mouth
analogy.
shut
I have a
and
great
bite your
analogy because I think I've been here
fucking tongue.
before. Hold on. I
Bite
can
your fucking
explain this
tongue.
to Gamma. Gamma, do you
Just don't
remember this?
understand his evidence. What he's trying to build to right now. He's saying when we're saying that you tried to make icy chat, when you're trying to make a replacement icy chat, and he invokes.
Go ahead.
I've invited a few people, and also when I started Nuki Chat,
you're fucking doling. You're bogging down this conversation so much, Green. Just like unironically.
Do you remember
You
Gamma?
know why?
Hold on,
You're
Green.
afraid. You keep talking over me because you're afraid of what I'm about to say.
I'm not talking over you. You're just like fucking looping over yourself.
You won't let me get my point out because you know I'm gonna shut you fucking down. That's why.
You're not saying anything. You have been on this fucking point for the last 10 minutes. Please, either make it concise or shut up.
Hold on. We can sort of good cop. We can good cop, bad cop this. Green, just if he doesn't listen, he's willing to engage. If he says something you don't like, then you can sort of chime in here, being all aggro. I have a question. Do you remember when people were like mad at me and thought it was really frustrating when I just didn't want to hang out with the group when they were with Hellbound? Do you remember that?
I'm glad we're getting into that position because I feel like the dynamics are completely different, right?
We're gonna come right back though.
Okay, so first the dynamics with your situation is that you kind of had somewhat you had to at least keep up an appearance, at the very least, right? You had to at the very least keep up an appearance because you were going to London with the intention to meet up with your mutuals, with your friends, people that you consider friends or close associates, right? And like the big difference with me not wanting to associate with some of these people is that one, these people are not necessarily my friends, and two, most of these people probably also don't have my best interest in mind, right? So there is a massive difference between me wanting to like disassociate with people that I know probably don't have my best interest, right? That probably generally don't even care for anything that I have to do, versus you obviously like going out there with the intention to meet people that are expecting you to be social. There is a massive dynamic difference
that would be
there.
like me. It would be like me going out there, and then when shit didn't go the way I wanted it, I insisted that I never wanted to see any of these people, and they mean nothing to me. Like it would come across as cope. So what I'm saying is your initiation.
Hold on. Part of my critiques towards you and conversations that we had even before like the public showings was that I told you that you are definitely entitled, right, to keeping to yourself and not wanting to socialize in places where you're not comfortable. You have to understand as well that the reason why people are viewing you in such like a demonizing way is because you are coming across as being asocial. I never said that you weren't entitled being avoidant. I said that you are perfectly entitled to that cost, that people will obviously view you negatively.
Sure. So do you understand why you're viewed as negatively and why you're potentially viewed as a little
Yeah, sure. I addressed that in the past and I said that's perfectly fine. I said that I don't care to like keep up appearances or to like appeal to anybody who is never going to change their minds. Why should I want to?
That's what the lie looks like. The lie looks when you say you don't care. That's where it looks like you're lying because it seemed
Okay. Wait. So if I don't care, then why did I just like let the chat die and never try to like do anything?
Well,
with it?
It was all okay. So when you let the chat die, it was already dying for you. You came to the admitted realization that they were not there for you.
That's
when you'd previously thought that they were. It's like the guy that like realizes
that's not even necessarily untrue.
You realize your girlfriend. Hold on, can I just finish? It's like you realize your girlfriend's about to leave you, so you run in to try to break up with her first to like save the embarrassment. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Good analogy, but half of that is true. Half of that is true. I want to say that if I hadn't crashed out, there would be like very, very strong momentum in Nuki still. But I definitely didn't. Yeah, but I definitely didn't like rush to like prematurely end something because of like some fucking fear that I had. I think I just didn't fucking care to like constantly be harassed or bothered by people asking me to like constantly address dramas that I just didn't want to be a part of after a while. So like to be clear, now that we're at this part,
snark to death, buddy. You just admitted it. Ding,
not months, maybe a few weeks, maybe a month. But to be clear, this is what finally leads up to this part of like of the timeline. It leads up. This is at this point in this timeline, we would be at the Dickers argument that we had in regards to Slug, right? So part of what really like angered me at the time was that I had a conversation with Dickers that didn't go too well, right? Of course. I could like, you know, I could agree after discussing with like 3 other people that I miscommunicated myself and I spent like too long trying to like rationalize how I was like coming across offensively towards Dickers. And after communicating with that, I just realized, you know what? I don't feel like trying to relitigate this over and over and over again and make it a spectacle to try to like and bring more attention to something that was already like rationalized behind the scenes.
What was the...
I don't feel like explaining myself to other people. So look, you asked me. I remember that night there was a bunch of you in ICVC, and there was a bunch of us in ICVC, and you were like sending people over to like ask me, yo, what's going on? And I just didn't want to engage because I had already discussed it like 3 or 4 different times with different people. I remember Raven comes into VC and he says, hey, Aiden wants to talk to you. What's your problem with Aiden? I'm saying, I don't have a problem with Aiden. I just like, you know, had a frustrating conversation. I'm not in like a decent mood. I don't feel like having to justify myself.
No problems with me. You've no problems with me.
No, absolutely not. I can promise you that.
Great. All right. I'm glad that we've just
hold on. I'm not done. Shut up.
Are you familiar with
moving on in the chronology here, right? Moving on in the timeline here. After the Dickers discussion, I remember I was like trying to play Marathon with Queeman, and Raven kept joining and asking me, so what's your problem? What's your problem with Aiden? I already said I don't have a problem with Aiden. I just don't feel like comfortable talking about the Dicker situation again. And then I don't know who else it was, but it was somebody else. And then Green kept joining and asked me the same question. I was like, I had enough of this. I'm not really interested in like, you know, entertaining this drama right now because it's just not something that I want to like, you know, put energy into, which I feel is like fair, right? Why would I want to put energy into something that's just going to like, you know, stir more negativity potentially? Why not just like, you know, end it at a loss and be done with it?
It was one fucking time.
So I moved from public VC to another VC. And at this point, Perry's playing game with us. And then it just becomes a lot of people like it just becomes Raven, Green, and Green playing like ICVC through the mic, like asking me about this bullshit over and over and over again.
No, we're trying to talk to Perry.
Well, it's not even I think. I definitively know for a fact that that's what's really like pissed me off at that point, where I decided that I just don't care to like, you know, entertain any of these conversations again. Because I don't want to like repeatedly feed into drama cycles that is just gonna like negatively impact the way that I interact with the people around me. So in this case, if I had kept entertaining this and if I kept like, you know, talking about this to other people, I feel like it would have just prolonged the Dickers drama and I don't think it would have been worth it.
Yep.
So at that point,
get it all out, buddy.
At that point, I tell Raven that I don't feel like it's like necessary to justify myself to him. He can like think of me whichever way he wants, whether it's negative or positive. I told the exact same thing to Green, and then eventually people just kept like, you know, moving Raven and Green into the same VC to like keep asking me the same question repeatedly over and over again. So at that point, I basically stated I'm not obligated to like answer anything or to like, you know, feed this drama any further, and I just left. And I was done with that point. And I was like extremely frustrated at everybody around me. And that day, a couple of days later, it's what leads up to the public debate with Junk Drawer Gaming, Jimmy, Green. And I feel like that's where we're at right now, where I basically said I really dislike all of you because I do. I didn't want to I didn't want to be constantly badgered.
Well, you're missing one little thing, and that's between the Dickers day and my stream. There was a normal VC we had, just a normal Nuki VC, where Green was asking you some question, and you went on like a whole crazy rant about how you hate Green.
I asked you
You're right.
Jimmy,
how did that go again? I'm trying to remember.
Tell him that I only asked him
I believe I was just playing. I believe I was just like relaxing, playing Marathon, and then so this comes from Raven saying, "What's your problem with Aiden?" Which at that time it wasn't me having a frustration with Aiden or Icy. It was me just not wanting to like extend the Dickers drama any further. And then afterwards,
how does that correlate?
There was a theory that was brought up by Green. I remember about me having like this weird fucking like turf war or this weird like, you know, I want to say, what was the word that he used specifically? Like what was it again? Fuck. He said you feel territorial was the word. He said I felt territorial over the fucking chats, which really frustrated me because I'm not the type of person that likes animosity. If I have a problem or if I want to like amend something, I'll just like communicate with you directly, or I just won't be animate towards you. I will just be like, you know, I will try to be cordial with you, right? So
you freaked out over normal questions.
I don't think that I at any point I've ever had like a major dislike towards Aiden, and I don't think well, I know for a fact I don't have any issues with Aiden. But
I think you're changing it a little. I think Alien Chat's right. I don't think the word territorial was used till the debate. He just asked you, like, if we're on Icy, would you use Icy again? Implying territorialness, but it was like a more normal question that you crash out on him for.
I think you might be right. I think it was the constant pressing of him saying, like, would you join Icy again? I said probably not, because all you guys want to do is, like, you know, badger me about like Dicker stuff and stuff that I don't really care to, like, you know, engage in. And I don't feel like entertaining, like, or justifying myself to people that are gonna dislike me anyways. I know that was 1000% like a crux of a conversation. So I kept saying, I'm not gonna justify myself towards you. If I don't want to be around you guys and all of this like annoying bullshit, I don't feel like I have to like justify myself to make myself like look better, or to, like, you know, answer for things that I don't have to, especially if it involves like my personal stuff. And he just kept saying, oh, I feel like you're just like in this weird turf war. And that's what really pissed me off, because it made me like incredibly angry at the time that somehow I'm not, like, you know, allowed to just say I don't want to talk about dramas that involve like my personal relationships, right? And it turned into, oh, this is just like some, you know, territorial bullshit. That's what really pissed me off. Right? It can never be a simple answer of I don't want to address this further. It always has to be a deeper meaning about how I have a fucking particular issue with Aiden, when that wasn't the case. I just didn't want to entertain the Dickers drama any further, and I think that I made that very clear to Perry and other individuals in the VC.
And to anybody, actually.
Actually, I'm pretty sure.
No, because the question was, why are you in Nuki and not in Ace Icy? You never gave a clear reason. Everyone thought it was a Dickers thing, and you never said yes. You can specifically dodged answering if it was a Dickers thing.
To be fair, I said it was a combination of multiple things that got me jaded. I did not want to specifically say that it was in regards to the Dickers conversation, because that was like a personal point for me at the time. Right. Well, now that I've had, like, you know, a considerable amount of time to like cool off, I can say that I was very, very jaded about the Dicker stuff. And I just didn't want to like be around people that would just hassle me over it and try to like extend and prolong the drama about it. I was just trying to be like respectful, but at some point.
Okay, do you think if you rejoined IC now,
what are you jaded about?
Come down.
I don't think. Okay, it's not even about people pressing me over like fucking 2 months old drama that was largely insignificant. I think that if I were to like rejoin IC now, I would spend an immeasurable amount of time, like an unhealthy amount of time, just fucking like, you know, debating these like conversations as we are right now, over and over and over again. And I just think it's like better for me.
I need
overall,
a minute to talk to
like, you know, and also for like time efficiency, to just not participate in IC chat, because to an extent, I can concede that I can enjoy banter between individuals, but I also realize, right, that I don't really enjoy the presence of said individuals despite enjoying the banter, and it would just be a waste of time to continuously engage in these types of arguments over and over and over again. So to an extent, yes, I do heavily dislike these people, mainly because it's very easy to get fucking rage baited. But that is my own issue, right? Of course. But I can also like be entitled to disliking said people because of how easy it is to get rage baited. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Green really wants to make a point. Can you unmute him?
I need to make this point because Gamma's lying.
I haven't even muted him.
I'll moderate.
You haven't muted him?
I haven't even muted him. I have actually just tuned him out. I've actually just tuned him out. Go ahead.
All right,
that's a lie. That's actually that's a blatant fucking lie. That's a blatant lie.
Green, a wise man once told me that sometimes you could be right about something when people know that you're mad and you're like really going saying a bunch, they have like a natural tendency to not want to listen to what you say. A wise person said that to me.
You're right. You're totally right. You're totally right. So I'm gonna leave here with Gamma expertly maneuvered his own ass to another point because he thinks that he might have won the last point. So let's go back to the previous point here. I'm on the drawing board right now. You're gonna walk with me here, okay? So on the drawing board here, Gamma has said, when we accuse Gamma of benefiting, creating, and stealing users from Icy Chat because of this gay chat war, when we say that, he denies it by saying, I did not start the chat with the intention to steal users. And then he also defends himself by saying, I personally did not DM that many people. That's a Martin Bailey fallacy, because you're conflating the two things. Okay, you're conceding on the like smallest easy fucking.
It would only be conflationary if I combined both points and try to make
and you're gonna
fucking.
Gamma,
I address both of those things independently of each other, so you're
transparent, Gamma. Gamma, when you're losing, you start trying to talk over me because you don't want me to get my point out. That's your fucking
point out. It will make a difference.
Okay, then you're gonna keep your mouth shut like a good fucking boy. Okay, listen to me now. Okay, what we're accusing you right here is you are benefiting from a coordinated campaign to siphon users from another active chat, which
Where's the benefit?
is unequivocally true. Unequivocally true.
Where's the
but
benefit?
Your defense against it here is by saying, I didn't start the chat with that intention. I just did it for the Turkey Tom stuff. And
okay, that's not even true.
I didn't DM that many people to join my chat. Okay,
that's true. I did not.
Beginning, but in the course of Nuki Chat's existence, maybe from the first month on till the end, you were engaged in trying to act people to come talk in Nuki. You were sending invites to people.
To what extent and how relevant is it?
Every single person. Oh, how relevant
Green, if you're trying to make, if you're trying to make arguments, like, you have to quantify. If you're trying to make arguments, then you have to quantify. If you can't quantify them, there's no point in making the argument. You can. I might have like. You could say that I did that repeatedly, and you might only have two examples. But two examples is not enough to quantify that was actually doing that.
You are dead wrong, sir. Sir, you are dead wrong.
Show me like a massive pattern of behavior besides like maybe two pings.
Show me a massive pattern of behavior. The chat is deleted, but literally everybody in Icy, everybody in Nuki can agree. They have seen you on more than one occasion. People tell people, shame people for using Icy by telling people, why are they in Icy VC? Come talk in here. You did this. You created this campaign to have people come and talk in Nuki. And by saying that you didn't start the chat with that intention and that you didn't DM that many people is a lie. It's a modern daily fallacy because you're conceding on the smallest point, but what you're conceding on doesn't actually address the main overall point.
What's the concession?
You Gamma. What's the concession?
Gish galloping.
No, it's not. The how?
Gish galloping. You don't even know what your point is.
Me, Gamma.
You don't even know where your point is adding up to.
Green, I'll recall the suggestion.
Okay, actually, very, very good thing to pivot to Ali Khan right now.
Do not run from me.
Green, shut the fuck up. You're not making a point. If anything, you're putting yourself in your own words, trying to get it known. All right, so look.
No, I'm not, but that's not what's happening here.
Specifically,
what you just did,
Ali Khan brought up something earlier that might be really interesting to address.
But then address the point.
So Ali Khan asked, then what was the falling of standards point Gama brought up during the Jimmy stream where it went down? If you guys have any like contradictions or weird things that stand out, you can go ahead and ask me right now if you guys have anything that comes to mind, and I will address them as best as I can.
You're dodging, Gamma. You're dodging. Gamma, please explain to me, why the fuck does it matter if you started
the chat? You're not making an argument. You're not making a point. You're not making a point.
My point is that you're lying. When we accuse you of creating a campaign to take users from Icy, and the way you defend yourself is by saying, I didn't DM that many people, and I sent the chat to siphon Turkey Tom drama. Your own words a few minutes ago.
I never made a claim like that, by the way. I never made the claim. I never made that claim.
Yes, you did. Yes, you actually did.
Made that claim.
That's your fucking words, buddy.
Nope.
Really?
No, I didn't. I never made that claim. My claim was that. My claim was that. My claim.
Get some Turkey Tom people in Nuki chat.
Grin, you're wrong. Really? He's arguing that's what blew Nuki chat up.
Yeah, I never said that I used it to siphon drama.
That's a total non. That's also
you can argue he's wrong there, but that's what he's arguing.
Okay, sure. Fine.
Even then, I wouldn't be wrong there, Jimmy. And you know that to be the case because you were there.
I think you're wrong on that. Because if you didn't make your shit to pull people from Icy, when the Turkey Tom shit happened, it would have been an Icy chat.
No, Jimmy, that not true. Because okay, I guess you could use that as a correlative example, sure. But that's not true because the main thing I feel like pulled people from there was not necessarily if you could go back to like the invite dates and where they were made on admin. I'll give you admin just for that again in chat so you can go verify. I'm pretty sure the majority of the invites were probably like from like Ryle or other individuals that were talking about the Tom stuff at the time.
Yeah, because you're pulling all the people into the chat.
Look at the invites.
You're pulling all the people into the chat. And
What's your fucking goal? You want us to get stuck on this? We're accusing
I don't want you to. You can investigate this independently, and if I was wrong on that, then you can go ahead. But like trying to like making this argument, no matter who's making it, is going to be impossible to fucking prove. No, you cannot prove this point.
To prove?
You cannot win on this point. You are backed into a corner.
No, I'm not. You're delusional.
You can't prove that I like mass message multiple people to like get them into the server. And you also can't prove that they willingly comply.
Gamma, listen. Okay, not Gamma. You're being dense and obtuse here.
I'm not being dense.
Is that you created, it was you created a spearheaded attempt to siphon users from Icy Chat and users who might have otherwise gone to Icy Chat.
Where?
Did this ever?
Where?
You did this. Really?
Where?
What do you mean where?
Where?
Your own words?
How did I do it?
Let's do a poll.
How did I do it? Where did I do it? Where's the evidence? And show me the like quantifiable evidence.
Everybody, okay, we're gonna use affidavits here. Okay, so please take the poll.
Use affidavits. What is an affidavit?
Please,
what is an affidavit?
It's a sworn,
tell me what an affidavit is.
Testimony. It's a sworn witness testimony under perjury, under threat of perjury, that what they're doing is a true statement that they believe. So right now, everybody, please take a poll.
Okay, so I expect you to also vet and verify that each of these people are like verifiable witnesses. I'm sure that these people are credible witnesses as well.
Really that much?
Well, yeah. If you want to make that argument, you have to quantify your evidence, but it doesn't seem like you can.
Gamma, name one active chatter from Turkey Tom shit. Name one active. Okay, and after you name that active Turkey Tom chatter. Okay, sure, whatever. Great. After you do that, now please tell me, out of all of the Turkey Tom chatters that might have been in there when you were Nuki, why is this relevant when we're saying that you used the Nuki as a platform to steal everybody from IC?
Because it wasn't the influx of IC chatters, which I'm sure was very little at the time, that made the chat active. It wasn't the influx of IC chatters that made the chat. It wasn't the influx of IC. Yeah, because you weren't there. You were not there. It wasn't an influx of IC chatters that made Nuki chat active. It was an influx of people interested in the Nuki. It was people that were interested in the Tom stuff that made it active for that week. Everything after that just came naturally.
Everybody from IC Chat was literally asked.
Okay, wait. Rakuntel, that's true. Nas was there before in my server, sure, but he became active as a result of the drama. That's undeniable.
Wow,
and I'm sure even Nas would admit to that.
Totally fucking irrelevant. Gamma,
you make a very good. Actually, QQ makes a really good point.
Nuki Chat.
QQ makes a really good point. QQ was the one that brought up the Tom stuff, and like after that, the chat instantly started blowing up because that's where people were talking about it.
Part of my Gamma, you know why I invoked the Mon Bailey thing? Because you're like conceding on some small irrelevant.
I have QQ as a witness.
Point.
It's irrelevant. I have QQ as a witness. Shut the fuck up.
Who cares? That's my point. It doesn't matter. It's fucking bullshit. My point is
you're basically invalidating your own point. You just basically said that your point is pointless. That you're just saying that your fucking argument doesn't stand on its own because you have no fucking argument. Okay, you have no evidence. I'm
going to give you a recap.
You don't have anything to quantify said evidence for either.
I'm about to give you a recap. I invoked the Martin Bailey fallacy here because what you said
something
here
irrelevant.
Was the Turkey Tom drama to start Nuki. And I didn't even DM that many people. I only DM'd like a few people that I remember. But what we're trying to say, that doesn't.
How does that meaningfully prove that I lied?
Because what you did is you were using.
How do you use a grand total? How do you use a grand total of 7 people that verify that I messaged?
Gamma, I can understand you might be quivering right now.
How do you use
a
grand total of 7 people that I verifiably messaged, right?
Are you honestly
to account for over 160 new members?
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, try to reel it back in.
Hold on,
Graham, hold on.
Are you kidding?
Hold the phone. Let's just make something very clear. Because when we're talking about people in Nuki, what really is meant is people who are actively using it, like the list of named users. Because up until I reclosed IC recently, we had over 200 people in IC. I wouldn't really count the vast majority of those people as IC users because they were just there to look. They weren't really typing. I think when we're talking about users.
So you want to adjust like IC poaching to be like a grand total
active
of people
user, like users
in
that use
IC.
your chat. Well,
that only
users
used
that use
IC.
your chat.
Then that would be even more fucking difficult to prove because most of those people were already in my server due to
Gamma,
overlap.
You were adding.
You know what
people
we're talking about.
Send invites to people. Did you do this?
Then
Did
the fucking invite point becomes pointless. At that point,
Did you do
like,
that?
how am I?
Yes or no? Lighter. Yes or no? Answer question honestly. Did you add people to send invites to people? Yes or no?
I already. Did I add people to send invites to people? No, because I'll one up you on that. I'll one up you on that. Wait. Slow down. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Because as Jimmy knows, I didn't add people. I asked. Jimmy was in VC. I was like, Jimmy, if there's anybody that you know that would like to join, invite them. And I said the same thing for like to Mira and Raven at the time who were there. So whoever they invited was also part of that.
You DM'd a couple people. You got a couple other people to DM a couple people. Like it led to a lot of people who might see you pulled.
But then how does that make me like a coordinator of a campaign if I simply just asked you cordially and then you did your own thing?
It doesn't have to be a crazy campaign.
What do you wait?
But he's framing it as like a massive spearhead to poach everybody when that just wasn't true.
You have to like it's malicious. It doesn't have to be like a malicious thing to do just to get other people from the server.
But that is like the implication. So that is like their implication that I'm poaching for the sake of being malicious.
You asked people to do something, so they did
it was opportunism, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'll just say it on the record. If the roles were reversed and Gama had the already active chat, and then he started crashing out. And I know me, I'm like a fucking megalomaniac. I like power, right? I probably would have done the same thing. I probably would have done the exact same thing.
Okay.
But
you're neglecting.
But I'd be honest about it.
I'll go. I'll let you finish. Sorry.
No, that's all I had to say.
Okay, you're neglecting the key aspect that what made it relevant in the first place for people to join was the Turkey Tom stuff.
That doesn't matter, Gamma.
At the time, there were people that just actively denied people. Like at the time, there were people that actively denied joining until like way later. So again, it just couldn't have been an active like campaign to poach.
To siphon people?
By any metric, it just couldn't have been.
Gamma, did you add people to send invites to people who are in IC?
We already basically concluded this argument. There's no fucking point in you continuing it.
Did you add people personally in DMs to get people from Nuki? From IC into
I already addressed that. We don't have to loop on this again. Why, Green? You're so desperate to get across this argument that I already addressed that. I said yes. Did I add people? No, I just been personal.
Yes, you did.
I DM'd people and I talked to Jimmy and Mira and Raven, and that was it.
Are those the only instances of you adding people from IC?
Are those the only instances? From memory, no, but the other ones that you might want to like cite are very sporadic and not enough to quantify an active targeted campaign.
They actually are enough to quantify. I can vaguely remember here. I have seen screenshots.
Are you a credible witness?
Swirl.
You're the one bringing the argument. Pyrite Swirl was already in my server.
Did you add Pyrite Swirl saying, "Hey, why are you still talking in IC? Come talk in Nuki." Were you adding people who were in IC at the time who weren't in Nuki? Were you adding people to go and send them invites?
What is people? What is people in this quantity? Quantify it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. Quantify it. You have to do that if you're making that argument.
This isn't common sense to you?
You can't just say people. What is people? I could have added one or two people. Two people is not enough to quantify an active campaign, like an active targeted campaign.
You're, dude.
No, quantify it. Quantify it. One or two examples is not enough to like make that argument. That those could just be two like off examples.
I think the funniest thing here is that when we say that you were absolutely engaged in this chat war and you were definitely trying to take people from IC into
never mentioned, never stated, never claimed
London drama.
Never claimed.
You're denying it because there's just not enough evidence. You're every piece of evidence that we give to you.
Yeah. There's not enough evidence. If you're making something that has to be quantified to prove, then I'm sorry, but you're like
you're not the judge of the evidence because you're defending. You're literally denying everything. You're denying that it even happened. Every piece of evidence that comes up, you're like, that's not enough. Who cares? It's not enough to you because you don't want to be guilty of doing
this thing. What's the bar? Then who's setting the bar for like this to be like a legitimate argument? What's the standard here? What is like the threshold that has to be met? What's the bar?
The bar here is that you think you can weasel your way out.
So you don't have an argument. So you don't have an argument. So you do not have an argument. So you don't have an argument. Okay, so what you're telling me is you don't have an argument. Good one. All right. Anyways, now that we're fucking done with your fucking jibber jabber, Jimmy, Aiden, what do you guys have to ask me personally in regards to that conversation? Maybe even Junk if he has any questions.
You're just embarrassed to admit it. That's why. You're just embarrassed to fucking admit it.
You can't prove your argument. You're being fucking annoying and obtuse at this point.
Wait, but here's the thing. It's not
there is no thing.
Gamma. You can just say yes, Gamma. It's me. Yes, Gamma. I did.
That's how arguments work. I don't have to agree to any claims you're making if they're just not true. If they're not just quantified, like what are you trying to prove?
Let me ask you a series of questions then. Okay, do you consent to a series of questions?
No.
I am ready to move on from your point question. You're ready to move on because you've been caught in a lie and you're now back in the corner. So
there has not been a lie here.
Moving on. Yeah, you know what? Notice, ladies and gentlemen, when a dog is backed into a corner, like a Chihuahua, like this Mexican guy here, when he's backed into a corner,
Mexican too,
it's becoming more aggressive. This is now when he becomes more aggressive.
You have literally been aggressive this entire call.
So listen up, Gamma. Let's say, how often were you adding people?
Let's say, how often were you adding people? I don't know. Probably not very often at all.
Not very often.
Maybe once or
That's
twice.
Not true. You did it a lot, actually. You did it very often. You did it a lot, actually.
Show me. Prove it. Show me. Quantify it.
Do you remember your own actions?
What is a lot? Do you
remember your own self? Do you remember what you did?
What is a lot? Maybe on a once occasion, sure. With David.
This is like when people. This is kind of like when people call Spinal a pedophile, and Hick Fury's like, "I need proof he's a pedophile," and you have
this
to.
This argument isn't even comparable. I tried my best to cite stuff from memory earlier.
You have to show Hick Fury actually. You have to show Hick Fury Spinal actually assaulting a child for Hick Fury to actually admit that he's a pedophile. And that's what you're doing right now. You're like, proof.
It really looks true, and to not be able to just admit to something so small is probably why this is continuing so long, Gamma. Okay, listen. The only reason this is continuing so long is because I fucking haven't addressed any of this shit at all until now. I haven't talked about it at all until now. These people have just been running with these fucking arguments without me like ever addressing them until now. That's why it's continuing so long. This is how it always turns out with these people, which is why I fucking purposely opted out to not engage for over 2 months. I wonder why I could possibly be so fucking agitated and wanting to be around these people. Wow.
In the Turkey Tom drama.
Dude, are we ready to move on from this fucking circular argument?
Was hold on.
As a
Turkey Tom people or icy people?
As a neutral party, I think that it kind of sounds like the difference here is Green's kind of wearing the emotion on his sleeve, which I don't think is rhetorically effective. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was rhetorically effective when you were doing it. But I think it also, Gamma, looks like on your end that there are feelings there for you that you're sort of in denial about.
Like what?
Well, this is a mutual thing. I think this is a mutual thing.
How is it? What is mutual about this?
Well, this was obviously a situation that caused you great anger.
Be specific. What do you want? Like, what specifically is mutual here?
Probably the emotion associated. You're still probably.
I just don't want to be badgered about shit that I fucking don't care about. If this was such a fucking big deal for me, if this was such a big deal for me, then why didn't I fucking fight tooth and nail to fucking keep the chat active? Why did I just like immediately say it's perfectly fine for people to fucking leave the server?
Well, you only said that after they started
because you're self-sabotaging.
Then why the fuck did I not do anything to remedy it afterwards?
Is it not true that you only said that when other people started talking about going back to?
I mean, sure, it might be true, but it doesn't necessarily correlate to my like intents or motives.
I think there's something smart about accepting defeat.
I also already addressed that.
I think there's something smart about accepting defeat, like before, like earlier on. But
I already addressed that. I literally already addressed that. That was like discussed way early on.
Yeah. So
you're a self-sabotaging guy.
Part of it was literally me not wanting to like continue the fucking Dickers drama loop. The server was still active when that was going on. I simply just did not.
Here's the thing. You're jaded, Gamma. You're jaded. Like you're playing like you're the victim. You're the one that threatened to cut off Dickers. Okay, why are you jaded? You're the one that threatened him in the first place.
Yeah, and under any circumstance where I feel like somebody's implicating me of lying, I would do the same thing to them as well.
Yeah, because you're like a self-sabotaging freak with very thin skin.
No, I feel like I just rather not be implicated of lying by people that I have.
It's true. You just
especially
you just
when I'm being honest.
Thank you.
Do you think that you contribute to people perceiving you as a liar?
I think that I'm not given enough opportunity to like address these points in a fucking cohesive way. Similar to like how fucking Green just keeps badgering me about this when I'm being like very, very forthcoming with fucking everything. What do you want me to say?
You've been given every opportunity. I feel like you've been given every opportunity. People have reached like I feel like you've so many opportunities to address these points.
In what regards? Would you not say that there isn't like some very, very heated conversations that you've had before where you were like trying to get a one-up on a particular point that you were like exclusively fighting for, disregarding every other aspect of the conversation? Is that not something that people do? That's bullshit and you know it. You were given every opportunity. Come on, let's be so fucking for real, dude. People in these types of conversations, you were literally a part of one a week ago. Always going to find the easiest fucking point of attack, fucking get a win condition. You know that there is not given every opportunity.
I'm not disputing. I never disputed that. I feel like you just.
Okay, so there's no point in even fucking suggesting that. You know that's not true. You're trying to say that to make it seem as if I had every avenue to be honest about this, when the reality is that no, there's going to be win conditions that people want.
You've been given an opportunity to litigate and discuss this on several occasions. You just didn't do so very well or effectively, right? I think that,
okay, but obviously, as Jimmy and fucking Junk have conceded to, the last time I discussed this on stream, right? They were obviously in it for the fucking snark point of it. They were obviously in it to like for the content. They literally admitted to it after the conversation was said and done. They wanted to like just fucking pry extra shit from me.
Even people who when did I not talk to you in private with an open? Was I at all when I spoke to you in private? No, but I feel like the answers didn't really change substantially at all.
From private to now. So wait, if my answers didn't change substantially at all from like the conversations we had privately to now,
well, you're acting like you were deprived of an opportunity to vocalize your points. I'm explaining to you that even if you're claiming that the opportunity couldn't exist,
motherfucker, you going down this like particular route of questioning is you trying to like distract from the main points that we're focused on.
I'm not trying to distract from anything.
And I'm going down this fucking gay ass meta contextual or meta like conversation.
I'm just asking a question. There's really
anything about these lines of questions.
Okay, so you're the one. Just so we're clear, you're the one that said that you weren't given an opportunity. I'm pushing back on that. You initiated this dialogue.
Wait, if I just acknowledged that, right? If I just acknowledge what this entire fucking line of dialogue was for. And I'm telling you to like, let's fucking recenter because I don't care to enter that line of dialogue anymore. Okay, why the fuck are you pressing it unless you have a further intent?
Because you initiated it, and it seems like you're still disputing it.
I'm telling you that it seems pointless to fucking converse about, so we can go back to like the initial.
Well, okay, why would it be pointless to converse about if we disagree?
What is the disagreement? You're going to disagree about my personal value?
I'm claiming that you were in fact, contrary to what you voluntarily say here, you were given the opportunity, like on multiple occasions.
And I'm telling you that to frame that as me being given an opportunity, there's obviously going to be different routes and different opportunities that people will take to get a different fucking narrative out of a conversation. It doesn't seem like a very clear opportunity or at least an impartial. That's bullshit.
You're just a weasel. You're just a lying rat. You know that?
What? Okay, hold on. No need for. All right, I'm trying. Be very calm. What would a legitimate opportunity have looked like for you?
What would a legitimate opportunity look like for me? I would have preferred to not be fucking pestered about it over and over and over again for like fucking 3 to 4 days straight, up until the fucking like final conversation that I had with like Junk and Jimmy and you. I would have preferred to, again, not have it been made so fucking personal, because I'm not the type of person that really again gets like hooked on fucking like personal spats with people. I'm not the type of person that gets like really animus towards people. It's not the type of person I am. And I would have preferred that it wasn't used. And I also would have preferred if it wasn't used, obviously and admittedly, against my best interest.
No, it was for your best interest until you started spurring out and giving non-answers. You were giving non-answers. You didn't want to say the Dickers reason, so you gave every other reason.
Okay, I will admit actually that's something that I was going to address for Ali and give to your benefit. I will admit that obviously that was my fault and my weakness for not like effectively communicating it. I've always been like I'm always the type of fucking person to say like clean communication and strong communication is the best thing that you can do in any form of like relationship, friendship, whatever. Yet I obviously like danced around the clear questions to avoid having to like bring up the dicker stuff again, and that was my fault, of course. Which is exactly why I asked if you had like any particular, questions or contentions. Like ask them now so we could like lay it all out. That way there's no confusion on what this is about.
I'll look through. I think that was about it from that. That was the only question I had from that.
Yeah. So for example, Ali Khan asked the question, what did like, being jaded or like all of these questions have to do with this from earlier? So like the reason why like I brought up like how like, Willie Mac and all of these other gay things that Jug made a joke about is because it was basically trying to like surmise and say that after experiencing a lot of people that I personally looked up to as creators, like, just be fucking complete clowns and losers and fucking lunatics, and other people like next to me also like, entertain or do like, other negative things that I disagree with. In regards to the Dicker stuff, I felt like at that time Dicker was trying to like malign me as being a liar at the time. That could have just been me feeling targeted.
No longer feel that way.
I don't want to say I don't want to say that I feel that way anymore. I feel like I've calmed down enough since then, or like a week afterwards, to like not feel that way, right? At the time, I was basically just saying I feel so jaded to the point where I no longer feel worth like like it's worth interacting with people that are just gonna like continuously get like this negative side of me, this like incredibly jaded side of me, and to an extent, that still hasn't changed. I still very much dislike a large majority of the way that people have like shifted. I still have like a very sour taste in my mouth from people like just doing negative things shamelessly, and to an extent I just don't want to like really be around people. I'm just gonna like be disappointed people. You know what I mean?
Is this kind of like the when you talked about like the inconsistent standards in commentary and then you invoked
that was the point that I was making. Yes, that was the fucking point that I was making, is that I just generally feel disappointed at everybody around me.
Okay, do you have anybody specifically? Anybody specifically at all?
I just addressed that. I literally said at the time I felt like Dickers was maligning me as a liar. Obviously, I don't feel that way anymore.
Dickers.
I just didn't want to throw a fucking like pointless accusation like that there at the time, because I know better than to do that. So of course I was just making like other assertions with using other examples. That's what that was.
Wow.
So any more line of questioning?
Okay, wait. Okay. Cal thinks it's a gay op if an individual has a set plan for how they want a dialogue to go and is adjusting their individual behavior accordingly to make that set plan occur.
Okay, no, Cal, Colin, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Okay, well, they're saying that I waited for such a long time to have like a fucking post hoc. If that were true, then I don't know. If that were true, then my fucking line of dialogue right now would be drastically different from personal conversations that I've had with like people like Shelby, Ali Khan, or even Aiden himself. So that's bullshit.
Here's Cal. Hello, Cal.
Cal, can you give an example of a gay op that has involved only one person?
Cal's such a fucking
I have a few questions for you, Aiden. I have a few
You're
questions.
such an F-slur, Cal.
Number one,
get ready to kick this
who
guy.
were you referring to? Who are you referring to when you said expecting a crash out soon?
Wait, I haven't muted. Hold on.
You.
Sorry, say it again.
Okay, kick Cal. Kick Cal.
Hold on, give it a second. Give it a second.
He sucks. Cal blows.
I heard one sentence and I already know this. Like Cal probably has this confused for somebody else.
Yeah, I think Cal's
confused. What the fuck are you
talking
about?
Unk,
stop.
Green, it's gonna take longer if you keep cutting him off.
First of all, I'm taking your side, which is why Green's trying to shut me out, okay? Second of all, Aiden, I'm gonna ask you again, okay? Who are you referring to when you said, I'm expecting a crash out soon? Were you referring to Gama or Green?
To Gama.
Are you referring to Gama? So why would you feign being nice to him? Right, and simultaneously expect to crash out. That sounds like gay opping to me.
Wait, actually,
also,
wait,
has gay opping
that
ever been multiple parties?
You are such an F-slur. You're leaking icy chat.
When has gay opping ever involved multiple parties?
That actually like 100% proves my point about opportunity or from earlier.
Wait, when is gay-opping ever involved multiple parties? Dude, that's literally what gay-opping is.
Are you sure?
Yes, that's how everyone has used that term.
I
Yeah.
can think of a few examples in which there was one party gay-opping, and it was still considered a gay-op by the wider commentary community. But whatever.
Who?
I'm not going to share those examples because fuck you, right? You're just going to have to assume they're true. All right, back to you, Green. Green, listen.
No,
Was this
dude,
really that
you
serious?
understand?
Was this really
No,
that serious?
no, you're like
Okay,
such
well, I'm
you're
glad we
such
cleared
an
that up.
idiot. Thanks
I'm
for
glad we
like
cleared that up.
broadcasting. Hello, everybody. I have 86 IQ. Thank you, Cal. The peanut gallery just spoke, and shut him up again. This is why we shove you into the fucking dark corner of the attic, and we'll bring you out for when we feel like fucking
It's
bashing
funny.
your head
I
against
win.
a
I
rock.
win like 3
Actually,
debates
Cal, thank you
against
for
you, and you're
proving.
still
Thank you for
salty
proving my
about it.
point out, Cal. Thank you for my point, Cal.
What point? What the point that you think that people want to see you fail? Like you're
These
like
conversations
fucking...
are never actually about opportunity. That's bullshit. That was a pointless argument that Aiden made.
What?
You're turning an observation into a greater fucking plot.
What I was saying to you is that your claim.
Yes, I know you were given an opportunity, but the opportunity is never actually fairly structured, and that's just back to the matter.
Okay, so that's a different claim. The claim is that you were not given an opportunity.
Who gives a shit? You know what I meant. Not the same as actually laying everything out in a way that's effectively communicated without it having to be something entirely filled with negative emotion behind it. It's obviously easier to get across multiple different points if you're just calm.
Which is gay-opping, by the way. If you're calm to litigate your points, that's gay-opping.
Yeah, well, that's Cal being a little bit gay.
It's gay-opping if you're expecting. No, it's gay-opping if you're expecting him to crash out as a result.
Okay, so why would it be gay-opping
if you're being niceness? Because it's fake niceness. You're expecting a result.
Okay. So if somebody
hold on. Here's what a gay-op is. Here's what a gay-op is. Let me define it to you. All right, and hey, if everybody disagrees with me, I'll concede I'm wrong, okay? Because it is a community thing. It's not really a well-defined thing, all right? A gay-op is when you expect a certain result, but don't display that to the opposite party, right? So faking niceness is a great example.
So if you're changing, yeah, got it.
Interviewing him.
So let's say,
are you retarded?
So let's say
it's on stream.
Yeah, so let's say I want to be more rhetorically effective in my conversation with somebody, and I might be mad at them, but I'm not necessarily displaying that anger for the course of being mad, and for the sake of getting them to resonate better with my message. Under your definition, that would be a gay-op, right? Because I'd be expecting a different result. I'd be altering my form of communication as a result of that, and I'm communicating that I'm doing that purposefully to the other party. Would that be a gay-op?
You didn't describe what you did.
No, I just gave you a hypothetical. You just did the but I did eat breakfast this morning. That was a hypothetical.
I did
oh
have
my
breakfast
God.
this morning.
Okay, so he's Schrodinger's retarded.
No,
Yeah,
listen.
He loses. Dan, he literally loses every argument he takes on, and then just towards controlling.
Hold on, I can't tell a joke. That's fucking awesome.
Cal, are you aware that
repeat yourself? I must have misunderstood.
Okay, so would it be a gay-op if I altered my communication for the sake of being more rhetorically effective? If I was not actively communicating to the other party that's what I was doing.
Didn't you actively communicate that you were trying to be nice?
Okay, I just asked you a question.
Nice. It's an interview.
I just asked you a question. Right? If I altered my communication for the sake of being I'm not saying that that's what I'm doing. I'm giving you hypothetically, let's say an entirely different person. Hypothetically, let's say an entirely different person.
Be anything close to gay-opping. It would be, pretty hard for
so of another hypothetical person, you just gave a standard definition for what a gay-op is. In a hypothetical world where another person was altering their communication to get a different result to the conversation without adequately or effectively communicating that to the other party. For example, they want the result to be the party listens to them better. So they're not necessarily conveying as much anger as they would like to in the course of that conversation. Per your definition, the standard definition you provided, would that be a gay op?
No.
Okay, it wouldn't. Got it. Because I feel like
No.
you just said.
No, I described. You
Yeah, I feel like under your definition that would be a
to
gay
the other
op. Because your
party.
definition is
No.
gay.
I described you displaying to the other
Al,
party
you are
the
like a
result you
moron.
wish from them. So if you change your tone to be nicer, they're obviously going to expect a calmer conversation.
You
Yeah,
look like a Chud Jack,
being purposeful about your tonality to achieve a certain given result to a conversation would be gay opping. If it's like one person doing that.
I just described to you why the hypothetical you described would not be gay opping under my definition.
Yeah, I'm saying in general now. Can we stop
looking at your hypothetical? Because your hypothetical sucks.
Yeah,
okay?
so I'm saying in general now.
I thought about it
because I feel like the definition that you just gave.
For like 2 seconds. I might be wrong. Okay. Can
really?
You trust me on my definition?
You think so? You think so, Cal? You really?
Shut the fuck up, Green. Shut up, Green. Shut up, Green. I raped you 3 times outside of stream.
No, you did not.
This is not a conversation.
This guy dodged me and smashed.
You're
smoggy, buddy. Put that photo of Cal on the screen.
That's
looks
mean.
Like
this guy dodged me and smashed, by the way, Cal. He's scared.
Fucking smash, man.
And also, Cal, how is it
yeah.
Cal, I'm sorry. The idea that you come in here accusing Aiden of it being a gay op. Gama has said none of you have the full story. He's more than willing to talk about what the explanation with the Dickers said. He already kind of briefly talked about it like 10 minutes ago. Now he's going into detail on that. It's not nice.
Ironically, what wicked radiation type is probably a totally definition or a totally accurate definition of for sure.
Dude, this is on
literally
stream.
Everything that's been addressed. The only thing that I'm like fucking really like waiting for is for like Jimmy or Junk to come up with like anything that they're particularly curious about on any inconsistency.
Look, we all know that you were trying to siphon people from Icy Chat. I don't know why you're still denying
I'm
it.
going to interrupt you because you already relitigated that.
That's all you were doing.
Times, Green.
Unironically, if Junk and Jimmy do not have any more questions for me, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna fucking like argue this in circles with you.
But I'm giving you an opportunity.
That's life.
I already answered everything to the best of my ability as comfortably as I can.
Okay, so would you now say you've been given an opportunity?
Yeah, I feel like this
and now
was.
that you've been given an opportunity, can you now say you understand why people think you're a liar?
Yeah, but it wouldn't be because of anything I've done. Funnily enough, it's because
so you don't think any of your like communicative strategy has led to the perception of you as a liar?
Any of my communicative strategy? Name an example. I can name an example right now of one particular thing that I know for a fact was probably misaligned, or at least misinterpreted, purely because of my own fault.
Sure. So like when you're overemphasizing the role that shit played and like the research.
Sorry, you cut out.
Sure. So when reality or evidence points people to a certain direction, like evidence indicating like you attempting to siphon to Nuki, right? When you're denying that or underemphasizing the role of it, right? To a lot of people, that would lead to the perception that you're a liar.
Where's the evidence?
Well, we have now, the list has like constantly, a list of people that you've claimed to have personally invited to the chat has like expanded throughout this conversation. At first, like you said 4 people.
Quantify it. By how much? Yeah.
So we've gone from like the first 4 you gave to eventually like, okay, Shelby 2.
Well, it wasn't the first.
So then we went to 6.
The first 4, by the way. It wasn't the first 4. It was like a couple of people I asked in DMs, and then the person I asked in your chat, which was David.
In this combo was 4.
So Big Prob, Michael, who else? Who else from my list? I have to go through the list again.
David.
Big Prob, Michael.
David
was one of them that I asked in chat. Jack King.
Your first 4. It was Big Prob, Michael, David, and you didn't specify who the 4th one was. Now you said Jack King too.
Jack King. I actually said Jack King. I actually said Jack King in the beginning.
Sure. So 4 people, right? 4. You gave the number 4. But then we find out, okay, it was Shelby 2, Okay, it was 7K as well. There are so is it 6? I feel like there's going to be a 7 at this point.
Yeah. Which, by the way, when I first gave the list, I literally said, and 2 others that I don't see in my list. I did specify that.
No, when you first gave the list, you said 4, and the first 2 you said.
Hold on, another one that I can point out. Another one that I can point out in my list from around this time span would have also been in my usernames list. It's Great Alfred, but it's Bobby. I believe it's Bobby B. Yeah, that's another one right
How
there.
many are we at now? Like, that's why you would look like when you were saying 4 at first, right? And just saying that, like,
But like, how is that? Okay? And just to use your own argument, how is me just like not having an entire curated list of everybody that I DM'd at the time, like, equivalent to me lying?
Well, because
just being me not having a fucking complete list.
So I'm not even saying you're lying. I'm saying the way you communicate makes it look like you are, right?
Well, the way I communicate, how did I communicate that in a way that would seem like it was a lie,
because
unless you yourself want to interpret it that way because you have your own narrative to push.
So when you originally threw out that number of 4,
if I say there was a handful of people, and I can't give an exact number except the people that I actively see on my fucking DMs list that I graciously scrolled down to fucking read out until I saw more.
Thank you, Gamma, for doing that.
How the fuck does that get? How does that get taken as a lie unless you yourself wanted to pursue that fucking line of dialogue as a lie?
Nobody.
You are the one gathering that interpretation and perceiving it as lie because you are engaging in bad faith.
Gamma.
Then what the fuck else could it be? This is a binary thing. It's either you're engaging in good faith and you can understand that I am probably just drawing a blank at other people that could have been in this fucking list. I went down the fucking list and even tried remembering more, or you're engaging in bad faith.
No, okay. You first threw out the number 4, but that was coinciding with other statements. I think some specific ones you made. I don't remember exactly which. Someone might remember the specific, but there were other statements you were throwing out that made it sound like the role that you played in actively attempting to siphon active chatters made it look like you were downplaying it. So when the first figure you throw out is actually lower than the true number that we've been gathering throughout this conversation, it makes it look like that plays into a purposeful attempt.
Why does it make it look that way? Why does it make it look that way?
Because
it's because of your interpretation. It is because of your interpretation. It's because of your interpretation. And an accurate figure can also be easily represented by just a misrecall, a misrecollection.
I'm not even saying you lied. I'm just saying that's what you look like through your communication.
Okay, so that's a non-point. That's a non-point to just I'm lying. The only way that you would take a lie from that is if you were actively assuming that I was a liar off of that. Which means you're engaging in bad faith.
The point was.
Let me give you a better example. Let me give you a better example of what my core communication might have come out to lie.
That your communicative deficits have actually led to the perception of you lying. It wasn't other people.
Let me give you a better example of what could have led to me lying, okay? And what could have led to me in like the perception that I was lying, right? Me refusing to like what's it called, address the Dickers conversation when I was being given a line of questioning by Junk Drawer and Jimmy. That is an ineffective communication that would come across as a lie. Me not being able to accurately recall a fucking exact number or exact names from shit that happened over 3 months ago now is not on the same field.
Yes, but when that is coinciding with what seems like an inability to own the fact that, like, yeah, I was attempting to like make Nuki like active by siphoning chatters from Icy.
You would have to assume that the source of information you're working off of fundamentally proves that point, which it doesn't.
To everyone else does, right? Because at the time
everyone else is based on what metrics? Based on what metrics?
Literally, is there a single?
Is it just based off of banter and shit talk, I wonder? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's based off of banter and shit talk. Green doesn't have any verifiable information on the point. Don't have any verifiable information on the point. Jimmy doesn't have any verifiable information on the point. Nobody has any verifiable information on the point. Just you adopting the fucking talking points of people that don't have information to validate that claim. So it does automatically prove that there is a level of bad faith assumption.
We saw you doing these messages in Nuki chat. I'm just gonna go through Icy and I'm gonna say all the people I think that were present in Icy in Nuki.
You think?
I saw you doing these things.
That you think. You think that
No,
oh,
these
so
were
it's now that
people.
you know.
These were
So wait,
people.
don't you see that based on the like the
Oh wow. Okay.
incapabilities of your fucking communication skills, it
He's
kind
gonna
of comes
go on
across like you're
here.
fucking lying and making up bullshit. Therefore, I can't take your fucking claim
What?
seriously.
What are you
You
talking
inbred
about?
fucking
Okay, no.
retard.
Okay. Gamma.
Let's take a chill pill here, Gamma.
Take it easy. Calm down.
Honestly,
I
I think that this is basically like reached the end. We're just gonna loop again on this point.
No, you're being given.
You tell me. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you.
That's
These are the
I feel like
that
I'm pretty
I know
satisfied
were
with like the
around
answer
at the
that I've
time.
given.
Yeah, sure. So you're gonna
Junk, you
give
got
me an answer to
Junk
this
or
one
Jimmy,
now.
you guys got anything else since you guys were like the two
yeah,
primary
I guess I got another question then.
Louis,
I got another
Ollie,
question.
Louis,
Green,
Cal,
Green. You see the people in active and icy green?
Freddie
Ask.
Woods,
Literally just ask a question in IC and see who responds.
Hellbent,
Ask a question in IC and see who
You might
responds.
have been
You don't have
around
to assume this.
Blurg, Nuvakfa, Cam Nuggets, Puddle Sucker, Clover Cutie.
You're doing nothing.
Edgar,
Green, you're doing nothing with this.
me, Hody, 7K.
Ivana asked a good question. How do you explain?
All these people were in Nuki, and I don't know.
All of those people were already in my server and like a fucking other chat that I had in that server prior.
Yes, but you know the difference between an active chatter base and like passive people that are just present in the server.
Yes, and those people were at one point already active in my server even before Nuki.
All of those people were actives in your server.
Many people can attest to
Clover, I've known Clover. I never gave access to Nuki, so that's a non-point. Puddle Sucker has always been somebody
your server always being dead.
Clover Cutie was in VC.
Not true. Clover Cutie was never given access to Nuki.
That's not true.
That is true. I specifically a joke. Like literally, I'm pretty sure if you scroll back in Icy enough, you will find her complaining about me not letting her in Nuki.
I feel like she got kicked out.
Access? It was like
no, I didn't kick her. I didn't kick her. Well, actually, she might have typed once, and then I immediately just revoked her access. But I don't think one message is enough to constitute that she was like an active participator in Nuki. No, I want to say no.
Well, I thought the claim was that she never had access.
Either could be true. I don't quite remember.
Okay, so I guess I have one question. This is what really pissed me off originally.
She asked me to let her in Nuki, and I just told her that she's not allowed.
Okay, but you understand how when you make like definitive statements, like she didn't have access to Nuki, and then that like started to change. Like,
I would have to sit on that fucking claim for like a long period of time for it to be considered a lie. Not as I'm actively trying to fucking remember the details of it.
You'd have to sit on it for a long time for it to be a lie. So somebody can't come up. So you've never accused someone of lying for in the short term adopting a claim, and then like within like a few minutes.
I try. I can't say that I've never done it because I don't remember a time when I've done that, or that I haven't done that. But I can say that I'm not so hasty to make a claim like that.
You're not so hasty.
And I feel like that tracks with my character as well.
You have not been hasty to amount like you've not been hasty to amount like mistakes in recollection to overt lies.
Okay, now that's extremely broad. Everybody can be hasty to say shit like that, but I'm just saying is I'm not as hasty or that hasty. Obviously, I practice a level of like reservation. I'm pretty sure again that tracks with like the type of character that I have.
Okay, I might have just asked this and forgot. How do you explain the opportunistic timing of it all, the surgeons and activity?
That was already answered with the Tom stuff.
Okay, that was just the Toms. I just feel like I don't. I mean, who was?
That is literally what happened. Ask fucking anybody who was in the server at the time when that occurred.
That was only that night. You were making it before
Who were some of the Nuki actives that came because of stuff?
Who were some of the Nuki actives who came because of that stuff? Pretty much any active chatter that was like actively paying to the attention around that time, or to the attention around that time that was in any other server.
Okay, so Shelby came because of the Tom stuff.
I think Shelby came at a later date, like at a further date.
Okay,
maybe a week or two after.
Can you give me like 2 names of people that came because of the Tom stuff?
Not necessarily because I was fucking poaching Shelby, but because Shelby just wanted to come because of activity.
Yeah, so can you give me 2 names of like actives that like came because of the stuff? I can give you for certain Nosferatu. For certain Nosferatu. Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you gave that one earlier.
Okay.
I can agree on that one. Nosferatu, I'll give you freeze for Nosferatu, Miller, this shrimp person, and there was like maybe one other person. I don't even
know if Miller became active because of Nuki Chat.
Okay, but maybe not Miller. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm obviously gonna fucking work with you on the details. I'm not gonna like fucking take credit for people that I fucking have no
Well, I know, but you're claiming that like a significant portion was active because of the Toms, and the only ones I can even the only one I was even throwing these other ones in. I don't know if that's why Shrimp was in there, right? But
she was in there.
I think Shrimp was in there for like completely different reason.
Yeah. I'm just giving those to you as like freebies. I'm not even gonna.
No, I'm not gonna fucking. I'm not gonna take credit.
I can totally agree. Besides him, which is one guy, can you name an active that was there because of the Tom stuff?
Besides Nosferatu, who was there because of the Tom stuff.
Because if it was just Nosferatu, it makes it look like you're actively attempting to overplay the role the Tom stuff had in Nuki's activity. If this was like a significant portion.
Wait. Based on what metric? Because it seems to me like you're trying to specifically tie in like
because you brought that up.
It seems to me like you're specifically trying to make it seem as if your exclusive chatters coming to that server is somehow indicative of it being like a poaching session or a dedicated.
Well, yes, that's exactly unironically.
But the reality is that people are going to gravitate to the most common drama and wherever it's being talked about.
Yeah,
and a lot of these people have overlap.
They needed an alternative to my chat because I was crashing out.
Those people have overlap with multiple different servers, some of which they engage more than others.
It was like 90%.
It wouldn't even be indicative of poaching. It would just be people that are interested in drama following the drama where it goes.
Can you agree that
it wouldn't even be indicative of poaching? That's just a dishonest point that you're making.
Okay, so can you agree that January and after, the vast majority of activity occurring because it was my chatters that needed chat because
I can agree. I can actually agree to that. Yes, but
it was actually only one person that was there because of the Tom stuff.
I wouldn't even say they were there because of the Tom stuff. I think that they were always like a lurker that got interested in engaging in the chat.
So then why does the Tom stuff always come whenever?
Because the Tom stuff isn't like isn't like an argument used to show utility of like of like activity of the chat. It's to show that that's where a large influx of joinership came from, not because I was actively sending out a fucking a billion invites to people.
Yeah, I'm claiming.
So I am like, but what I'm refuting here with it, like contextually within this conversation, it isn't activity per person because that would be a fucking stupid metric to go by. It would be based on how many people joined per my solicitation.
Well, how would you? If we're talking about chatters that joined and then never, how would you gauge where they're coming from?
How would you gauge that I specifically poach your chatters when there's just going to be people that have interest in
everybody that was
drama,
in your every active in your chat would be every active in your chat with the exception of 2 people were just people who had been just as active in IC the month prior but came because I was crashing out and for at least 7 you played an active role in bringing them in.
No, let's say those people gravitated elsewhere because there was active conversations about drama going there, like let's say spicy chat. Would that be a poach to you?
No, but they didn't gravitate there, did they? They went to your chat. And you've admitted now, and it's not just like any 7. You've admitted now that 7.
That just brings even more factors that makes your argument weaker. I have people, or at least I want to consider that I had people within my community or active in my server at the time who were active in Nuki of their own volition, right? That have friends that are obviously gonna fucking come hang out where their friends are at.
Yes, but the chain starts. Yes, but the chain started because of a concerted active effort.
Then it wouldn't be okay. Then it wouldn't be a fucking poach. It's just a natural fucking social gathering.
If you're actively attempting to make it happen,
it literally just cannot be a poach. People just went to where their friends go. That's what happens socially all the time.
Yes, after you intentionally, purposefully started to try to pull.
But let's say like a good portion of those people were already active in my chat and were already active of my fucking community and had friends that would just so happen to be in your chat that followed through. Be an active fucking poach at all. And even if I did fucking do this huge fucking coordinated effort, it wouldn't have mattered because half of the fucking people that would have joined from that the people that would have joined from that wouldn't have joined because I was exclusively fucking poaching them. They would have joined through their own friends.
No,
which still
nobody's
doesn't constitute
claiming.
poach.
Nobody's claiming you went and DM'd. Nobody's claiming you went.
To like give you benefit in that argument.
Gamma, do you admit that if the most active chatters go, the rest?
Do I admit that if the most active chatters go, the rest follow? Yes.
Yes. So trying to go to the most active chatters and bring them into your chat while also typing and within the chat you're attempting to siphon those people from yourself.
Who are the most active chatters that I wanted to say, poach specifically, exclusively?
You've admitted to
Almost
Bobby.
Intentionally.
You've admitted to 7K. You've admitted
is Bobby like a very, very active chatter that demonstrably and also categorically
for the last 2 months, not as much, but before that, he's been one of my most actives. Yeah.
I don't even think Bobby was that fucking consistent within Nuki either.
Bobby
so that's like a non-point. Big Prob, I'm pretty sure fucking dipped shortly after, so he didn't stay long. What's it called, Michael? I'm pretty sure isn't even somebody who likes me, so I know for a fact that's not a argument.
You have no way of predicting that. I don't know why that's relevant.
I have no way of predicting that. Big Prob literally sent me a message saying that he wasn't interested. And
after you but when you were pulling, if we're talking about the original act of siphoning them, right? You wouldn't have known that when you tried.
Hold on. That might not be true, actually. Let me see. Okay, for Big Prong, that was not the case. Might have been somebody else.
Okay. So my question is, why was the Tom stuff brought up at all? If it seems like only one active was there because of the Tom stuff.
Okay, actually, scratch Michael. I never invited Michael, so the number goes down 1.
Okay.
I just saw his name in my list, and I assumed that he was one of the people that I asked, but that's not one of the people that I asked. Here's a screenshot for reference.
So why was the Tom when people claim that the activity in the chat was occurring as you attempting to siphon chatters from IC? Why would the Tom stuff be a relevant factor if it seems like there was only one active chatter that came because of it?
That's wow, amazing fucking question. When people claim that this siphoning thing that these people completely made up to spark this sort of like argument for territory control and being territorial, which was sparked specifically for that argument, by the way. It's almost as if you fucking ran with that like a retard, engaged in that part like fucking stupid line of like obviously trying to get me agitated. The reality is that the fucking chat was barely fucking made. I invited a few people, right? And then the fucking Tom stuff popped off. A lot of fucking people kept joining because of the Tom stuff, which made the chat
who you were going to invite?
Active. What?
How did you pick who you were going to invite?
How did I pick who I was going to invite? I invited the people that were sad about not having enough activity in IC chat at this time.
Okay, so people that were in IC that you thought would potentially come to your chat and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no reason to lie about that.
Yes. Yeah, sure. So you siphoned in people from IC and other people followed, thus necessitating you wouldn't need to go and start inviting every individual person. Right.
Then it wouldn't be a coordinated effort for my part, definitionally.
What do you think a coordinated effort is?
How many people did I command to actively invite their friends?
Well, we agreed on 7 before. We've taken 1 off the list.
Well,
so
that's not counting. That's also not counting the people that would have like joined naturally because of their friends, and that's also not counting the people that would have left immediately because they dislike me.
If we're counting If we're counting individual people that you intentionally reached out to attempt to bring them in, that would be 6, right?
Wow, it's almost as if this is an incredibly fucking difficult like thing to prove because there's just so many fucking dynamics at play.
That was just okay.
It kind of contradicts with what you said on the last stream, Gamma, by the way. Remember, you did give a lot of rope here, and you did say that you saw an opportunity to grow your community. And part of the reason why you like were lashing out at everybody.
When did I? Wait.
You can go watch that on your own time.
No. Get the clip. Get the clip before we continue the line of questioning. Get the fucking clip. No. Get the clip.
Gamma, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything for you, Gamma.
Oh, so you have no evidence to provide for the claim.
You gave
because
the rope.
I remember
You're being hung with right
almost
now,
being incredibly fucking consistent. I remember being incredibly consistent about people opting to fucking mute my announcements on my fucking server and not setting up a fucking ping for Nuki chat so that people don't fucking like feel like they're obligated to watch my streams just because they're in the chat. I was actually incredibly consistent about that for fucking ever. So that doesn't sound like a true claim that I would have made. That doesn't sound like something I would have ever said.
It's something that you said, yes, when you were on Jimmy's stream the last time.
Show me, timestamp. Show me the direct quote.
Self-sabotaged. Why you
Timestamp. Show me the direct quote.
When you self-sabotaged and you lashed out against everybody.
Timestamp, show me the direct quote.
Mute him if he keeps talking.
Timestamp.
We're trying to have a
talk. Do you ever promote Nuki
and
IC itself, Gamma?
Here. Just want to talk.
Did I ever promote Nuki and IC itself? If I
Shelby,
did,
you're a puzzle piece. Shelby, you can't read a person because you're autistic.
It might have been after.
You have triple-digit
I don't want to say for sure that it was before the Nuki walkout.
If you had to, wait, it was okay. So if you had to guess, would you say you actively? Okay, if you had to take a guess, would you say you promoted Nuki within IC itself? If you had to bet your life on it
at all, if I had to bet my life on it, I would say that perhaps at one point.
Okay. So if you're promoting your chat within the target chat itself, you are inviting people in that target chat that you know would potentially leave it because they're dissatisfied with the circumstances in that chat, right? How are you going to deny the claim that there was some coordination? Siphon chatters.
Because you're conveniently neglecting that you did it first. You're conveniently neglecting that it would have been in response to what you did about joining my server and saying that everybody should leave and just join your server.
Okay, so you only your claim is
that would have been in direct response to something that you did.
So your claim is okay. So you were coordinating the Siphon chat. Only happened after January.
Yeah, but you're like not even because I don't even want to say that I made it an active effort.
Wait, Jimmy, I gotta hold on. Can you just give me fucking perms to join this shit? I gotta. So my mic fixes. Hold up.
Yeah, he's gonna fix his mic. But you did say that when you were self-sabotaging and lashing out against everybody. None of you watch me. None of you even watch me.
That doesn't immediately suggest.
Started this.
Yeah, because
you were saying that directed at people who were in IC.
I did say all that, but that doesn't suggest that it wasn't me like wanting an opportunity to build a community.
What community were you saying that to? The non-existent Turkey Tom community that left after like a week, or everybody who was in IC chat? No, it's not. It actually is relevant. That too. When you were lashing out against everybody, you were lashing out against people from IC.
Actually, I already answered that.
You refused to join.
I'm assuming you're too fucking retarded to like actually follow. I already answered that. I already answered that.
Do you mind giving in your answer again? Because
my answer was my answer was that I was really frustrated with you guys repeatedly annoying me to fucking go join a VC that I had no interest in joining just to talk about fucking drama that I didn't want to relitigate.
Nobody was asking you. Okay, but don't you think you agree now that you were like assuming?
Yes, you were.
No, because Gamma, you lied. Gamma, you lied that night when I said that when I got dragged into that marathon VC. I had IC chat on the phone, but at the time we were trying to get Aiden to talk to Perry. You were like a nobody. Nobody was trying to talk to you.
That's not true. That is not true.
It is true.
That is not true. I know that's not true because you joined. I know that's not true because you specifically joined to have Aiden ask me about what happened in regards to Dickers.
I'm aware. I'm totally aware. Gamma, I did ask you one time, come back to IC. But then afterwards we were in VC and we're talking and we're like, oh dude, Perry's like this person, he refuses to join IC. So then that's why when I got dragged in, the only reason IC was on the phone was because Aiden was trying to talk to Perry. That's why I kept getting dragged in. We wanted Aiden to talk to Perry, not you. We asked you one time because you have a territorial beef.
That's not true.
Really?
That I had a territorial beef. I already elaborated on that.
Yeah, you have a territorial. You do have a territorial beef.
It's why you still already answered all of this. I already literally answered all of this. Even okay. Let's say hypothetically, all of these fucking arguments were true. Why the fuck do you care?
Okay, so this is like a soft way.
Great argument.
I'm just getting frustrated with the looping. You guys can't quantifiably prove that I fucking like did anything. Fucking sabotage your chat. So we're fucking looping on the same fucking line of questions that don't necessarily prove anything.
Why don't you just admit? Why don't you just admit?
Everybody agrees on it.
It's not even Gamma. It's not even wrong. It's not even like a bad thing. Why don't you just admit that you coordinated to Siphon chatter?
Because I didn't do that.
What do you, I'm just sorry, but it's like
I didn't do it. I didn't coordinate it. That just didn't happen.
I only asked 5 to 6 people directly. I only promoted in the chat itself.
What's the bar of coordination, Aiden? What's the bar of coordination here? Is one person enough to coordinate? A mass exodus, a mass siphoning to specifically sabotage your chat the way that you're trying to emphasize here?
Not to sabotage it, but more to grow your own chat, right? More to grow. Like it was. I don't think it was like a spike.
Grow. Okay, but if my chat didn't grow specifically from fucking like asking your chatters that some of them didn't even join, or some of them refused to join, or some of them just fucking left almost immediately, then or like some of them.
Gamma, why do you think? Why did they go to Nuki instead of Spicy?
Probably because Spicy isn't like the same fucking type of community.
Why did they go to Glizzy chat?
Because you want to grow your
Probably
community,
different dramas. For different dramas.
Oh
well, Glizzy chat at the time was like defunct. So.
Well, so before London, so Nuki was also dead.
Before London, Nuki wasn't a fucking thing. It was just my server in its general section.
You never made Nuki before London, because Mira said
I never made Nuki before London. No,
Mira said you did.
Jimmy literally made Nuki for me. He actually made it for me.
There might have been like something a placeholder, but Nuki wasn't really made till the day of the Tom drama.
The placeholder was a fucking VIP chat that nobody fucking used because it was specifically meant to keep out one person. And then when I fucking conceptualized the idea of Nuki, it was literally like fucking an hour or two before the Tom stuff. Jimmy set up the fucking roles and the fucking chat.
It was like 7 hours.
What made you conceptualize Nuki then if it was before the Tom stuff?
I already answered that. You asked me that question earlier. I believe the question that you asked me verbatim.
So if you're working with someone to make a new chat in the event that my chat is dying because I'm crashing out, you're actively inviting members.
Because that's not what the intent was. That's not what the intent was. I specifically remember saying that I don't want to be around so many different people that I'm pretty sure my logic back then was still the logic that I had now. I was jaded at you for your behaviors. I obviously didn't want to fucking be around you at the time because it was just getting fucking incredibly obnoxious to be around that fucking
if you were literally working to make the chat in response to mine that is actually my day.
What? You're not the center of the fucking world. I literally just felt jaded. I said I wanted to do my own thing, not as a response against you, as a fucking commitment to my fucking self and my own server.
I am though. I am in your world because that literally didn't happen.
You're not because
why was Nuki made before London then?
Nuki wasn't okay. Obviously the idea of like having E, like chats ending in E is fucking hilarious, right? Because it's just a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off.
Right.
Shitty fucking spin-offs of shitty spin-offs. But I remember the specific fucking reason that I made Nuki wasn't because of you specifically. It was because I felt jaded at all of the fucking shit coming down. I wasn't particularly in favor of like fucking dickers like raping you a new one over like the over the Lio convoy stuff. I thought that was in like poor taste. What the fuck can I do about that? I was pretty jaded at that. Pretty jaded at your behavior because you were fucking being an obnoxious asshole the entire time. See, there was other shit going down with other people behind the scenes that I heard about. I was like, fuck this shit. I want to be around majority of these people. I'm going to focus on my own fucking like server, and I'm going to make my own gay chat, not for the express purpose of fucking siphoning chatters from you, because that didn't even fucking like happen. That didn't even happen in its conception.
That was never the accusation.
But it was mostly made so that I can have like my own fucking like restructured server, which I did end up doing. And it just so happens that as Mira was helping me set it up, and as I joined VC, Icarus joins to talk to me about some stuff, or he joins to talk about some other stuff. So there's 4 of us there. Jimmy joins. I asked Jimmy to help me set up the roles specifically for the fucking server functions. And then the Tom stuff breaks down like literally 2 hours later, and then a bunch of people joined.
You weren't coordinating. It was just more working with people.
It was very
growing Nuki in response to the.
Jimmy, at the time, was there even like a fucking like effort to fucking bring people from IC, or did the fucking Tom stuff just break down a bunch of people join?
No,
well,
Gama,
there's an effort to bring. Hold on, Green. There's an effort to bring people like you knew, and you already had a good circle of people from IC.
With, like, you already had a,
was already in there, so you had a good circle of people from IC, and the people they knew were also from IC.
And also,
was Nuki intended to be an alternative to IC?
Was Nuki intended to be an alternative to IC? Not at first. Like, genuinely not at first. It was intended to be my own thing.
When you were making Nuki, was that your impression, Jimmy?
My impression? I don't know if it was like, I know Gama wanted his own thing. I don't know if it was a replacement or to stand beside it. It's kind of up to his intention.
We used to call Gama gay in VC because he would like gloat about the IC chat war and he would talk about getting people to join his server.
Oh my god, but fucking like in the timeline that happened after Aiden started doing the fucking Nuki walkout.
Gamma, I didn't do the Nuki walkout shit till the end of January.
We used to say
yes,
like,
and that's when like I started fucking like that's when I started making like fucking vague jokes. Pretty sure even Shelby can attest to this. After you did the fucking walkout, Shelby started going like, why the fuck are both of you being so gay? This like entire situation.
No, it was before. It was before.
It was not before.
Because I literally said it, because people said I was being gay. I'm like, he's doing the same shit. I said that when I literally posted the Nuki walkout shit.
Yeah, like Gama.
Yeah, because I did it in response.
You're trying to obfuscate here. You keep talking about the beginning of Nuki chat. We're talking about behaviors that you engaged in during Nuki chat.
Actually, that's another good point. The more active people at first were people that you banned. And it wasn't even people that I fucking like siphoned from your fucking server. It was people that were already in my server because we were just like, you know, cordial.
That's wonderful. We don't even have
so like the further we go down this, the more like fucking reasons I'm saying that it just wasn't a fucking coordinated effort.
Look, if you don't have proof for that, we can move right on. How about in Nuki chat, when we used to call you gay for continuing this chat war and going out and trying to get people?
I did not start it. I did not start it.
Yes, you did.
And I'm pretty sure I did not start it, and I'm pretty sure even Junk will say that I did not start that.
That's why.
I'm pretty sure even Jimmy will say that I did not start that.
That's what I was telling you. I mean, we can ask Jimmy. He's been here from the beginning, and he can definitely say that he saw you going and adding people to come and talk in here when they were in IC, and he can attest to you going out of your way to tell people to invite
sometimes, but it feels like, it feels like you doing it at all when you're like, hey guys, talk here instead of IC, is trying to siphon people. That's trying to pull its people in itself.
Okay,
and also,
but would you say that to like, would you say that one or two examples that you can remember, right? Because one or two examples is the most that I can remember. David was definitely one of those for sure examples. But David was also like a fucking month after activity as well. So these are all like fucking various different points. Is that enough to like constitute a fucking like active, like, you know, like jeopardizing campaign meant to like, you know, specifically, you know, like just deplete IC?
You started Nuki chat with the intention of growing your community.
Literally, even before that gay shit. Wait, Jimmy, wait, Jimmy. You're just like we keep like reminding me of things. Even before all of that fucking icy stuff, even before all of that fucking like gay war shit, you know when one of the first things I brought up was when Aiden started complaining about it? I said that it can coexist and that it doesn't have to be this fucking beef. And then Aiden deleted icy for a short period of time, which then just caused 4 people to fucking leave.
Gamma,
someone's me a screenshot. You were calling it a competitor like 3 days in.
You're making all these gay-ass points, but they're not relevant at all, because what caused the fucking siphoning was Aiden deleting his own fucking IC chat, which just caused everybody to get on it.
IC was already dead when I deleted it.
By the way, he deleted it because he saw people talking in Nuki. So that right there is a lie. And number 2, Gamma.
That's not a lie. That's what happened in the timeline. He literally deleted it like a week after the fact.
He died because everyone was in Nuki instead. That's why
he literally. That's why.
But like. Again, if there was only like barely any fucking people that I asked to join, first of all, I don't even think that meets the fucking standards of like actively, you know, coordinating a fucking like siphoning campaign. And second of all, if people did join the server and the server became active because of that, it is because you fucking killed your own chat.
No, he literally did that.
I did not kill my own
chat. I remember when Aiden finally deleted his fucking chat, people that specifically did not want to join because I was there decided to fucking join.
My chat didn't die because of my intentional efforts. My chat died because I was crashing out, and then I deleted it in response to it dying. Me deleting it was a misconception. That's not what killed it.
A misconception.
That would be a
no.
cope.
I never said anything about fucking. I never said anything about the fucking deleting and pulling icy chat.
If anything,
I said that if there are people that join my server, it was a result of you deleting your fucking chat.
Most people were already there, Gamma, before I deleted it. It was literally only.
Were they? Can we prove that?
The only people that were like actually planning on staying by me, and he announced at the time, was 7K, which is actually really funny. That's one of the people we have evidence he's specifically reaching out to. Because before I deleted it, 7K was like he's like, I'm gonna stand by you, like Mr. President.
That is true. He told me the same thing. He told me the same thing. That is true. 7K. Also, that's another good example. 7K didn't even fucking join until you deleted the server.
So you were DMing like the last stragglers that were still like in the chat.
But wait. Did I invite 7K? Was 7K invited before the deletion of IC or afterwards? Because if he was invited before and he refused to join, that would not count as a successful part of the coordination campaign. So that actually detracts one less person from the fucking total list.
Attempted murder is still murder. Attempted murder is still an attempt.
Wait, why would the consequence?
You just can't like actually you just cannot prove that there was like an actual coordinated campaign. You just can't do it. You just can't make the argument.
Gamma, if somebody coordinates to do something and they're unsuccessful at it, is it unfair to describe what they did as coordinating to do that thing just because it didn't work?
Well, part of like your argument on top of that is that my goal was like to intentionally deprive you of your fucking IC chat.
This is what you did?
No, Gamma, I don't think your primary motive was to spite me. Your primary motive was to benefit yourself, and that's okay.
Wait. No, because that might have been your revised take. But
it is my revised take.
Absolutely. Yeah, that might be your revised take. Yeah, that might be your revised take. But your primary argument that Green keeps looping on, that you specifically got from Green, is that I intended to do it out of spite.
I've said for months it was just opportunism to grow yourself, right? I agree that I said it was out of spite at first.
But even then, that's not true.
That was nearly half a year ago. Like
even then, that's not true. I didn't do that to grow myself.
You have dementia because I clearly said earlier in this conversation.
And I'm sure there's more people that remember saying that I'm not going to fucking use Nuki to like boost my viewership because I didn't do anything.
Didn't you literally admit that the turning point for you caring about the people in Nuki was when you realized they weren't like engaging with your content or doing anything for you? So how would that not be?
This Chihuahua was backed into a corner and he bites. I mean, damn, Gamma. I told you from the get-go, it was all opportunity. You said this yourself in the last Jimmy stream. I've never said it was out of spite. And also, you keep looping back to like, oh, no, I opened Nuki because of the Turkey Tom stuff. Nobody cares about that.
That's not what I said. Why do you keep saying that? That's not what I said. Jimmy already had to correct you on that. That's not what I said.
I think the main accusation here is that as Nuki was starting up, you weren't exactly happy with how many people you got from Turkey Tom. And that's when you started going and adding people and getting them to come and join Nuki, which is like what we've been saying the entire time. But for some reason,
that also doesn't fit with the timeline. That also does not fit in with a fucking established timeline. That doesn't fit with it. No, it doesn't.
When were you
no, it doesn't because it doesn't because the people that we confirmed would have been invited. No, because the people that we would have been confirmed invited would have been invited around the same moment that we were like wondering who would like to fucking come talk to us while we set this shit up. Jimmy already admitted to that.
Let's be serious.
Jimmy already fucking admitted to that. Jimmy already fucking what's it called?
Because you know why, Gamma? Because you play with time.
Your timeline isn't even lining up.
No. Yes, it does. You keep playing with time. I'm gonna say right here.
I'm not playing with time. You don't understand the whole timeline of the argument that you're fucking making. You're just throwing out there in the water. You're just throwing shit out there and hoping it lands.
If you let me speak, I can.
When did Green? When did the coordinated effort to invite a bunch of people and siphon fucking members start? When did that begin?
Well, let's see. You said that the people joining from the Turkey Tom stuff, let's go maybe like a month after Turkey Tom stuff.
Hold on. Everyone stop. I have a great question. I don't even know why I didn't answer it. Okay, Gamma. You admit that there was at least one person you've personally invited to Nuki. You said you're not going to deny that, obviously, right?
Sure.
When was the first person invited?
When was the first person invited? It might have been like maybe 30, 40 minutes, maybe even a fucking like straight up hour after the chat already gained some activity from people just typing in there.
The first icy chatter that got invited.
The first icy chatter that got invited? I think the first icy chatter that I like invited was probably Big Prob.
Okay. So, but this was Nuki gets created. Okay. How would you say relative to when the Tom drama starts and when you started inviting icy chatters? Would you say that you started inviting icy chatters before the Tom drama, during the Tom drama, closely after it?
Before it was literally right before, and again the list would have been between.
You remember the date the Tom drama happened?
I think it was like January 6th.
Yeah, I didn't see the first Nuki walkout didn't happen until January 22nd.
Yeah, but I didn't like coordinate for people to like fucking join Nuki.
So I thought your efforts to invite people were in response to me doing the walkout.
No, my efforts in chatting to your there's like a fucking lot of misconceptions here. My efforts to fucking like say like fucking wait. My efforts to say that IC is fucking dead. Right? My efforts to say that IC is dead. My efforts to like fucking invite David, right? We're a month after the fact, yeah. Because David didn't become active until way after.
We're not. You can't conflate when we're conflating when an effort was made, not whether or not that effort was successful.
Then because the amount of people that I fucking asked like to invite were so fucking spread apart. Then how would you constitute effort?
But then why are you bringing? Then why were you pretending like you were only doing this in response to the Nuki walkout?
No, because you were asking me about very specific contextual things, such as me adding fucking David, right? Or me saying like, or me gloating about it.
You trying to siphon chatters. Anyone can rewind it. Anyone can rewind it. When I'm asking about siphoning chatters.
No. I'm pretty sure you said gloats. I'm pretty sure you said gloat. Have you ever once pinged somebody or gloated about it? And I was like, if I had to remember, it would have been after the fucking walkout.
The gloat point. No, Gamma. The gloat point was made by Green. He was saying you were gloating in voice chat. What I'd said to you, I was using the word siphon. I was saying you were siphoning chatters. You were willing to admit to siphoning behavior, but only after I initiated the Nuki walkout. This is evidence that you were doing it well before that, right?
But okay. This is evidence. It's hardly fucking evidence that I was coordinating because I invited a handful of people.
He concedes it, and it's like, no, it's actually not evidence. Okay, buddy.
Green, you don't even understand where the fucking conversation is going. Know your fucking place.
You can't help but fucking twist yourself up in your fucking ESL babble.
Because there's no fucking proof that I did literally any of this.
We just brought up several instances of proof. Screenshots been pulled up. Like I don't know what is proof to you.
I've invoked people.
Aiden, first again, we have to like reestablish where I fucking like seized an opportunity to like enrich my fucking server.
Okay, so you admit that Nuki was created around the time that I was crashing out and IC was dying as a result, and you, as well as others, were discontent with my behavior. After Nuki's creation in early January, you've admitted to personally inviting numerous chatters from IC, right? So if the claim is that you made efforts to siphon in people from my chat, right? Why would you bring up the Nuki walkout in response, which didn't happen until the 22nd?
Why would I bring up the Nuki walkout in response? Did you ask this individual at any point in time to join this server? What individual was that? David. Did I invite him after the fucking Nuki walkout stuff? Yes.
That was
categorically it would fall in line into that particular timeline. But most of these people would have been way before, right? But so if I'm addressing certain things and I'm putting them in different parts of the timeline, because that's when I remember doing them.
Let's clarify real quick. So David was banned from IC chat, and as he was on his way back to IC chat, you seized an opportunity to poach someone who would have otherwise gone to IC chat.
Yeah, I never denied that. Yeah, that was always out in the open. Yeah.
Good. I just want to make that clear. And also, by the way,
that one was just like that one was just blatant. I don't know what it's like.
How many people do you think saw? I'm going through your YouTube channel here, and realistically, what was your projected amount of people that would have joined because of the Turkey Tom shit? Because I can't find a single.
I don't have to do my
video.
Projected how many people would have joined into my stream.
You know what's really funny is I think that you're like.
Oh my fucking god, Green doesn't know shit. Oh my god, Green actually doesn't know shit. Green, you need to shut up before you walk into fucking something that you can't fucking argue.
You made an 100 viewers.
You
and nobody saw it. And now you're
like stop
post-hoc
before
rationalizing it. As
you need to stop before you walk into something that you don't know what you're talking about.
Show me the stream, Gamma. Show me the video.
Because all right, funnily enough, Green, guess what, retard?
Show me.
No, like the Turkey Tom stuff was like fucking breaking. And people didn't join the server because I streamed about it. People joined the server because that's where we were talking about it. And that's where the fucking conversations were taking place. So as a result, people were fucking joining just rapidly because of the Turkey Tom stuff, not because we invited people.
How? Where did they hear about it? Where?
Okay. Unironically, Jimmy would have to be my witness here because that's actually what happened.
Wait, witness about what?
Okay, so remember when like Nuki chat was made, right?
Yeah.
And like an hour after, like a bunch of fucking people just like randomly started joining. So we set up the React function, right? For people to like get access to Nuki chat. Where did those bunch of people like randomly start coming from? Green is suggesting that I streamed about it from the Turkey Tom stuff, right? But that's just a misconception that he fucking like illustrated in his head. People just fucking joined out of nowhere, and it had nothing to do with us like inviting people at that time.
I'm looking for, because you said like, oh, you know, I made it because people were joining because of the Turkey Tom stuff. I'm like, wow, where would they hear from this? Maybe like a stream or a video.
Something I never said. You're still stuck on something I just never said.
You made snarky chat because people were discovering how many viewer streamer, how many subscriber. People were discovering a 5,000 subscriber YouTuber who averages 15 viewers. People were just randomly
not even the point. They just tells me, this just tells me fundamentally that you're just fucking wrong. People just tell me that, this just shows me fundamentally that you don't know what the fuck's going on or what went on in the first place. So you just made shit up. You just literally fucking made shit up and had Aiden believe it for like the last 4 fucking months.
When you examine
literally just showcasing to me that you just don't know what the fuck happened.
Gamma, you realize a single position that I have, I've not gotten any positions on you from Green. Green's giving me positions on other things.
I know you have because they're all fucking like direct fucking statements from Green, and I know you didn't go bother to like look at the own information yourself. I know for a fact you did not look at the information yourself because you never do.
They just materialized about.
He's literally Gamma. You think I would listen to this guy like rant on and on about you? You think I would listen?
Yes.
Do you think this is like a super interesting subject for me?
Yes, actually, considering you've like somehow wanted to relitigate it after all of like the other stuff at this point of the fucking conversation.
I'm bored, and I think that this is just like a way to pass the time, fill the time. I mean, it's not like a particular.
I'm having a lot of fun.
I have more fun being personally involved and personally talking to you than listening to Green talk about you. Like, I don't really get any enjoyment out of that, so I don't really know. Like, what point do you think I'm taking from him?
How much?
What do you mean? I'm for like most of this like poach shit didn't start until like Green like randomly started making it up because of
Gamma. Gamma. I was accusing because I accused you of it directly. I was accusing you of it like in January, like 5 months ago. I was accusing you of that shit. That did not come from Green.
Why were you doing that?
Because I was being paranoid and I was mad at everybody and I thought that you were purposefully trying to fuck me over, right? That was 5 months ago. But it doesn't matter why I was doing it, right? The claim is that I took that from Green. I'm telling you, that's not true because I was saying that to you 5 months ago.
No, I wouldn't. Personally, I would not have believed that you were like that fucking, neurotic at the time to genuinely believe that I was fucking taking
you think Green was selling me on that at the time?
No. I think Green was selling you on that ever since the fucking ever since the Junkin' Jimmy stream from like 2 months ago.
Motherfucker, we barely talked about
but if I was saying that to you 5 months ago, then how would he?
That's the thing. I didn't think that was. I don't remember you fucking like making that claim 5 months ago.
You don't think I was accusing you? You don't think in January? You don't think in January I was accusing you of poaching chatters from IC?
No, I don't think it ever came that way.
Are you? I honestly don't know what to tell you. I was constantly accusing you of that. I said it to you directly. Anyone who was there at the time can remember me fucking saying it.
We used to tell you, Gamma, that
I just don't fucking remember that. I genuinely just don't remember that.
We used to tell you, Gamma, because you black it out because you were getting snarked. You were getting snarked to death, and it fucking you.
Look. Unironically, like genuinely, I don't know how to fucking explain this to you because Ivana is like a fucking backwards retard. But Did these people just materialize? No, they just like I don't know what fucking occurred or why there was such a massive influx of people, where like literally 80 people joined all at fucking once. But I'm sorry to tell you, unironically, like dead ass, the fucking same day when the Tom story broke, right? When the Tom story broke and Nuki Chat was created, we didn't have to invite that many people. We only invited people that we were like in immediate proximity to, like fucking like Jimmy said. The rest of the fucking members that went in there, right? Which like the server grew over a fucking 100 members, and like literally the time span of like a couple of days came like it must have came directly from the Tom stuff, because a lot of people joined specifically to talk about the Tom stuff.
Do you think
I don't have to? You don't even have to take my word for it. You can take fucking Jimmy's word for it. You can take QQ's word for it. You can take Ali Khan's word for it. You can take Dicker's word for it. Those are people that were there when that occurred. Sorry, but I just did not fucking invite that many people.
So okay, so you're invoking people, but when I invoke people that say that they have seen you engage in like getting people from Icy into Nuki, or getting people to just start talking more in Nuki because they're talking in Icy, you like brush me off and say I'm just invoking random people. But now you're invoking these people. I'd like to invoke literally every single person who's in Icy that was in Nuki, and I'm 100% sure they can say that they've seen you do it. We used to make fun of you, because we're like, wow, you're a mirror.
I don't fucking care. Get fucking rid of the fluff. Holy shit. I'm not gonna fucking talk to you after this. Just fucking get rid of the fluff and skip to like the original fucking to the fucking main shit that like that you actually care about. Doing all of this fucking jibber jabber, trying to do like this fucking gay kayfabe. It's getting fucking irritating. Just skip to like the actual contention. And if you don't have definitive proof that I did this as like a fucking coordinated effort, then just shut up.
What would be?
And let's move the fuck on.
Why can't you just?
You just did not engage with
because I don't fucking because one, it wasn't my intention. Two, I don't perceive it that way, and three, it definitely wasn't done at your fucking expense.
Your joke.
Okay,
I just spoke in perfect English.
I don't think you tried to do it at my expense, but it was at my expense, right? Like, I don't think that's.
I'm sorry that fucking people just like did not like you at the time. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
There's nothing wrong with that's not your fault. That's my fault. I'm not blaming you for that.
Then why the fuck do you care? If we've reached the point.
I just want you to be honest.
I'm being honest. I'm being 1,000% honest.
You're lying. You didn't engage with anything I just said a second ago, because
I don't have to engage with anything you've said. It's just a fucking loop and repetition of shit that we've already fucking addressed.
No, it's not. No, it's okay. Prove it. Prove exactly what I said was a loop and a repetition, and attack every point instead of just dismissing it out of hand. Go ahead.
I tuned it out. I don't even fucking remember what you said. I'm honestly not going to pay attention to anything else you have to say.
Because like you're a
because you're a fucking retard fucking loser. You're a retard loser that didn't make any actual fucking argument.
Why do you hate Green?
Green isn't saying anything. He's just fucking looping.
That's not true.
I've honestly just fucking tuned out every repetitive thing he said. We keep going back to, but you invited people. Yeah, sure, so fucking what?
Okay, to shift course here a little bit. I feel like at one point you two were very good friends.
What happened?
Green is just obnoxious. He gets obnoxious to a fault where I'm pretty sure most people are gonna get fucking tired of him eventually.
Yeah, you're like two sides of the same coin. Yours are eerily similar.
I miss you, boo. I miss you, boo. I miss you. I talk about you every day.
Shut up! I don't. You're literally fucking nobody to me. Go fucking die in a ditch, unironically.
I miss you together. I miss you two together.
I don't care what you miss. You guys can go do your own thing. Learn to fucking move on.
We want you back.
I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back.
Who hurt?
We're meant to be.
I still believe in it.
We're meant to be together, boo. I would look. Hey, Gamma, you could admit that when I was in Nuki, I was not snarking you as hard as I used to do in Icy, and for some reason, you were blaming me for every little thing, and I think that's like a fresh.
Blaming you for what? What have I blamed you for?
You literally blamed him for giving me my argument. Here. You literally just blamed him for that.
Actually, no. I genuinely did think that you were just like fucking trying to snark off of something that he said like from 2 months ago.
No, that's
I'm not even being.
I'm not even bullshitting you. On Jimmy's stream, you literally like you won't admit to it, but on Jimmy's stream, the last time when we had you on, you pretty much accused me of everything. You said that you hate me, and then you said like, "Oh, I don't actually hate any of you. Actually, it's just but with Green on the other hand." And then when we would talk, you would just say, "It's you, it's you, it's you."
You're obnoxious. I'm sorry, I just can't turn the cheek to like fucking obnoxious behavior. I have very limited patience.
But I barely even engaged with you or interacted.
Yeah, and I would prefer you fucking keep it that way.
So now you can admit that it was me who raped you.
Okay, no, I literally already addressed all of the other.
Have you ever thought that like it goes beyond just you though? Have you ever thought that like there was just something entertaining for us to be able to watch you and Green?
I addressed that already as well. I literally addressed that earlier.
Gamma, didn't I tell you one of our first interactions ever? I said, let's debate, let's make it kayfabe, and you were like, no,
yeah, and I don't want to. You're just too obnoxious, and I just don't fucking care to be around you anymore. Go live your life.
Like the three of us, you two had good energy together. I remember.
Yeah, you know what's really funny?
There's literally nothing else to this. We fucking finally reached the conclusion of this.
There is.
There's more because there isn't. Gamma, before I posed that question,
no. If I swear to God, if there is nothing else here to talk about in regards to like the last 2 months.
There is something here though. You are actively
what is there here? What is there here?
Well, you're
if it's to like reconvene or make friends, I'm not fucking interested.
The two of you need each other. Okay.
I just want Junk to make a Minecraft server. That's all I want.
Listen, Gamma, you're kind of like
With that being said, I want Junk to make a Minecraft server.
Gamma, you're an unrepentant spurg with a big ego, and frankly, nobody wants to be around you. So, like, I don't know what you're asking for.
People want to be around him.
I want the old Gamma. I miss the old Gamma.
I miss the old Gamma. I miss the one who was funny, not the one who's like, he's got a bad attitude, quite frankly. He's a liar.
It feels like you're watching your friend die. And he's just saying, why can't you just let me die? Like, why do you care? Just let me die, okay? Just let me jump off this cliff. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna let you. Do I have an obligation to let you die? I don't think so.
It's like I got a friend, right? It's like a friend with like an alcohol. He's like an alcoholic, and he's drinking buzz balls on the Miami beach alone, which he's doing, by the way. And it screams like warning signs. It's screaming 5150.
We're watching him throw his whole fucking life away.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, dude, where the fuck? I'm like, bro, look. Here's the funny thing. Ivana was totally right. He has been making small concessions throughout the entire debate, but when you add them all up, it's more than likely, yes, he was doing it, but he refuses to admit it because he doesn't agree with the way that you've defined the word. Like it's such a Weasley tactic. We know he did do this. He did attempt to get people from Icy into Nuki. But he will latch onto every little thing to weasel his way out of it. And you know what? He's just be honest. Be honest.
You were saying the other night when you were talking about Gamma, you're like, that's my boo, that's my slime, that's my
everything. He's got mixed personalities. One day I get Gamma, one day I get angry Gamma.
Green is sending Gamma that song. Can you send him that song?
You send him a karaoke of you singing it? Yeah.
I'm standing outside Gamma's house with a jukebox, and I'm like, I miss you. I come home. It's like I won't give up on him, but it is kind of annoying. He did fixate a lot on that, like, the beginning of Nuki chat. Dude, what we're really talking about is his behavior during Nuki chat. We're not talking about the inception. We're talking about the first few weeks, maybe even a few days after Nuki chat. So when he says, I didn't plan on doing it, it was only later. Well, it's a soft concession when we're accusing you of coordinating and taking people from Icy, taking them back home to Nuki. It's like a soft concession, but for some reason he's still denying it, like in general. And I'm like, what are you doing, buddy? You've made so many concessions here. Add them all up. You did exactly what we're accusing you of. So what are you still fighting for?
Yeah, I just don't get it. It's too much pride he has in it.
We've seen him do this in Nuki chat with our very own eyes. And he's like, get me a screenshot. We're like, dude, is it not enough that 10 people can say it? Like, dude, it was like a joke that we're like, oh my God, Gamma cares just as much about this chat war as he does with Aiden. Like, he would be in DC and say, oh, dude. Dude, look, Icy's so dead now. Icy's so dead.
Too.
Not because I'm here.
Yeah. That's the Nosferatu calling for today.
Gamma?
Is
this guy back in his garage?
I kind of got what I wanted from Gamma. My main problem with him originally was he hates everybody. I hate everybody, and the not conceding on Dickers being one of the main reasons that tipped it over, that whole shit, and him obviously having a problem with Aiden, and I kept saying, you obviously have a problem with Aiden. He kept saying no.
I like it. I like Gamma. It's why it pains me to know that he has an issue with me, that he's unwilling to vocalize. You know what I mean? It's like, if this was somebody I hated, I wouldn't even give a fuck. We want you back, Gamma. This is coming not from a place of hatred, but a place of love.
I agree. I will. If Gamma comes back, I'm signing a ceasefire. No more snarks. Because here's the thing that Gamma neglects to say. That night when I asked Gamma, hey, let's say Nuki Chat died, would you come back to Icy? And he took out his anger and frustrations on me. We were just talking, and he's like, oh, dude, we got to do a podcast, man. We were talking normally. And then I asked that question, and he freaked out. And I was like shocked. It came out of left field. But he's framing it as me constantly asking him to come back to Icy. And I'm thinking, as far as I remember, I only asked him like one time in VC. And I don't know what the fuck's going on here, dude.
I'm just thinking there's more to this. If somebody from my server touched Gamma, I think now would be the time to tell me. Because I do believe there is something more to this.
Hey, hit up Wendy. That's probably the one.
Dude, it's just so bad.
I feel bad for Gamma, actually. He's forcing himself into this corner he doesn't need to be in. We could all be good. We could all be chum friends again.
Is, Junk's accommodating. Junk wants to enable his presence in his corner, and it's like I think Green's frustration. It's not that Gamma's done anything. Everyone should be friends with Gamma and talk to Gamma. But Green sees it, and I am inclined to agree with him that by running to his corner to make his corner more comfortable for him, he's never going to make the effort to leave.
It's avoidant. It's very avoidant code behavior.
Yep.
It's like, I'm more than willing to hash it out. What's our disagreement? Look, here's the thing that we pressed him on last time he was here. Everybody in Nuki at the time of that stream, and he does not deny this, because most of the fucking people that were talking about the Turkey Tom shit, they don't talk there. He was literally just an Icy replacement. Like, dude, come and chat in Icy. No. Why? Because I hate all of you. You're all like, you don't watch my content. Okay, great. Why don't you just chat with the same people under a different ownership? Yeah, bullshit. Total bullshit.
He's like constipated too while he says it. He doesn't need enough fiber. That's another criticism.
I don't even know. He should have clarified if he had a buzz ball tonight. I saw that. Do we have the photo of Gamma drinking 3 buzz balls?
I don't have it on me.
3 buzz balls.
He's drinking buzz balls in Nuki chat and drinking buzz balls. Frankly, it's kind of screaming like I was concerned about his mental state. If he's drinking buzz balls alone on the beach, Gamma's like 5'6". He would be swept away by the waves. It's a very unsafe place to be.
Okay,
drinking.
You're acting like you're so much taller. Aren't you like 5'7"?
I'm 5'10".
5'8" with shoes.
Pipsqueak.
Look, you can't control how tall you are, but you cannot deny that I have the advantage. I can drink alone on the beach because I was a swimmer. I love swimming. I can do like 130. I can do 110 laps back and forth. Counting a lap is 1 lap being swimming to the end and back being 1. I could do that in under an hour. I had a lot of.
Are you accusing Gamma of not knowing how to swim?
I'm accusing Gamma of, frankly, he's just very frail. He's got a petite frame. We have screenshots maybe on my old phone. Bobka had seen him and said he's got a body like a Coke bottle, and he's got a fertile, frail frame. And I think Goat Cato, when Goat Cato saw the personal Instagram, she might be inclined to agree here because he's kind of like a tiny guy.
Okay.
So it's like little man syndrome when he's just getting so agitated, and I'm thinking, what's going on? Because we were thinking when he was crashing out. when he was crashing out the last time, we're thinking maybe he got let go from his job, or maybe I don't know what's going on. But now it just seems like he's just very agitated in general, and I don't know. I would like to. I'd like to see a return of form. This should not be Gama's legacy. Unwilling to concede on everything, but conceding on basically everything, but still denying. Like, what are you doing, buddy? You're lying. You're lying. You're a liar.
Oh fuck! I had this screenshot. January 17th, Pirate Soul and Crystal still on Doxy chat. Oh.
Doxy? What is Doxy chat?
Your chat. I see.
Dude, Doxy chat's crazy.
Hold on. This shows it's like it is siphoning people because it's before the 22nd, and he's mentioning Pirate and Crystal by name. I forgot I had the screenshot. I was looking
literally
through screenshots.
before the fucking Nuki shit. And there's Ollie Khan saying Icy Chat owns you, because at this point he was like, there it is. He's like, you don't have any proof of this. There it is. There it is, folks. Before the 22nd, he was trying to get people to come and talk in Nuki chat. And this was something he talked about a lot in VCs. And I used to make fun of him. Like, dude, you're like an inverse of Aiden. You guys are both so concerned about your chats. And there it is. There it is.
Yeah, I forgot I had the screenshot. I don't know why I have the screenshot.
Unfortunately, a brave Mujahideen soldier went and deleted Nuki chat, and we lost access to everything. So even though he's making claims without evidence and dismissing mine without evidence, well, I've been vindicated. I was right. He was making comments like this before the Nuki chat walkout, and it was a coordinated campaign to get people from Icy into Nuki. There you have it. That's proof. And he can call back in if he wants to contest that.
8,000 years of I mean, I will listen. I'll say this: it's good to see Jimmy O doing. I thought like 60 people just like tuned in like naturally to watch that.
No,
I gotta be
no,
honest.
dog.
I was like, dude, if this is bringing this guy more viewers, let's keep this going.
Yeah. Look, Gama's not obligated to call back in, but he should, because he's a runner.
Dude, this Green, what you're doing is sickening, Green. You get a 3-hour combo with Gama, and then immediately afterwards, you're like, maybe he should call back in. You miss him so much. It's so bad.
unironically though, dude, I think after the Gamma crash out thing, there was like a day or maybe the morning of that we talked about it, and then we never talked about it again up until like now when I saw the Junk. Junk was on his hands and knees begging for Gamma to let him back into the harem and joining Nuki chat. Quite frankly, disgusting. Very people pleaser coded. But that's really the only time we've talked about Gamma, you know? And
I like how Junk just like refuses to engage with the questions or argument.
He's awake, by the way. He's just sleeping.
he's been sitting that whole time.
Look at his profile picture. Like, that's his actual face in person. He's crying. He's in tears. He's upset. He's a champion.
The worst part was he was engaging, and then Gamma called in. I thought he was going to keep engaging. He hasn't said a word since Gamma's first call in.
It reminds me when Call Me Bruh was kind of doing some sweeping for Gamma on the stream, and then Gamma comes in and embarrasses himself totally, and Call Me Bruh's at like a loss of words, and he's like, wow, holy fuck. Green, you were right. And Junk's been unwilling to give me my flowers as of late, but we'll see.
About what?
And everything in general. I mean, totally right here. Green won. I won in proving that.
It's hard to say you won when you were waffling a lot.
Look,
you're getting mad, you're getting pissed, you're yelling, you're waffling.
You were losing that at first. You have to understand when aggression absolutely serves its purpose, but you have to understand sometimes the implementation of aggression is not always necessitated and can sometimes, hurt how you come off to other people.
I agree. I agree.
I know this because you said this. You said this.
I've said this, and here's part of my ploy here. People might call it post hoc, but I've done debates with Gama before, and our debates with Gama are always a shit flinging, screaming match, and it's always a lot of fun. But here's the thing I learned about Gama. Gama's a fake nonchalant. He comes in, he pretends like he's not bothered. So that's why you lead with aggression. You lead in with the aggression. And Gama, like a rubber band, when you apply so much tension, even when you've stopped, you let.
Yeah, but you know what you do when someone's being fake nonchalant? If their goal is to come off as chill and calm as possible, your goal is to come off even calmer than they're coming off. That unironically pisses them off every single time. If you just you try to get even calmer than they are, they start getting mad.
Here's an undeniable truth. When we allowed Gama to talk for 5 minutes uninterrupted, it became a snoring fest. It was very boring, very snooze fest. That's why I like to lead with the aggression. And then after the aggression has subsided, Gama is now agitated, and case in point, that entire time this conversation
he never became agitated until he started getting asked questions in a calm manner.
Exactly. Maybe you're right. You know what? I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind.
Great stuff, Green.
Yeah. Look, and now that I have the space, I would like to elaborate. I think maybe Aiden can tell me if I'm wrong here. So when I invoked the Mott and Bailey fallacy, we accused Gama, hey, Gama, you ran a coordinated attempt to siphon chatters from Icy into Nuki. And what he does is he makes a small concession by saying, I did DM people, but it was only a few people. And then he says, but when I started Nuki, it was for the Turkey Tom drama. But he's not addressing the crux, the big meat. And the big meat here is while he was in Nuki chat, he was trying to get people to come and join Nuki, specifically from Icy chat. So by saying that you didn't start the chat with that intention, it's not engaging with what he's being accused of. And then he makes a small concession. Oh, I DM'd a few people though. Great. Can we see some receipts? If you have those DMs present, why don't we get a date of when you invited these people? But he didn't do that. And you know why? It's an attempt to obfuscate. That's why.
Kalora Vetla has the lowest chatter stocks of any chatter in the last 2 months.
Dude, it was bad.
It's negative 10,000 social credit.
He called in, was literally spewing bullshit, and then Gama wanted to use Cal's point to argue some shit.
No, and Cal is you guys need to chill on Gama. And then he accuses Aiden of fucking gay-opping. It's no, it's not. This is not gay-opping in the slightest sense.
Whatever,
it's a conversation.
Put whatever term you're on. Put whatever term you want what Aiden was doing. It's not a gay-opping. Having a calm conversation with somebody and then understanding what the outcome is probably going to be doesn't mean it's a bad faith conversation.
At this rate, Gama crashes out literally every single time. So to do something with the intention of him crashing out, I wouldn't call it a gay op. Just doesn't fit that definition. And Gama's MO is crashing out every single time. So it's if I see clouds in the sky that are gray, I'm going to expect it to be raining soon. But does that make me evil? No. Obviously. So Cal was very dumb, very harebrained.
Very, let's say let me pull it back on screen. 86 IQ of him.
He was very, and you know what? Cal looks like the Chud Jack, and the Chud Jack he wasn't the brightest bulb in the shed. Unfortunately, you're not a sharp knife, man. Do you have the photo of Cal with the glasses on?
I'm not pulling it up. But that's fucked up. That's fucked up to be pulling up Cal photos. He doesn't want his photos pulled up.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll post them in IC, but it's fucked up. Sure. You compare me with a mass shooter. This guy was a mass shooter?
Yeah.
Oh, you look like this. I didn't even know who this was. So, I guess we can pivot away from Gama. I know it breaks all our hearts that Gama's never coming back. But
I just wanted Junk. I just wanted Junk to say, "Hey, listen, man, hold some standards for yourself. You can't just forgive and forget.
You know the
You
worst
need to
part
have
about
that person
this?
take accountability."
Junk, you gonna bring this up to Junk tomorrow? He's gonna be like, hey, wait, let me watch the 3-hour segment of this on Jimmy's stream before I come to a conclusion.
Junk is actually like snoring right now, or maybe he's shocked into silence.
Well, there's three options. Either he's sleeping, he's so pissed he can't talk, or he just Gama started talking, Green started yelling over him, put himself out of his misery.
Junk, this is your champion. This is your champion. This is the best they can do to fight
I'm seeing this screenshot that Jimmy has pulled up here. I'm noticing that's on January 17th.
That's why I didn't know I had it. I pulled it up right now. It's before 22nd.
Yeah, dude, what is this rewriting of fucking history going on here?
Why do you think I was calling him a liar the entire time?
I'm not even sold. I'm not even sold that he's actually lying. I'm serious. I think that the reason I brought up lying was because I think it's totally reasonable for other people to believe he's lying, and it's his fault that people think he's lying. I unironically think he could absolutely believe his own narratives here.
The lie is so good, he actually believes it. Because here it is. I mean, dude, I wasn't lying when I said, dude, all you talked about, at least in the first month of January, before that Nuki VC walkout, was this gay chat war. All you did. And he's like, show me proof. And then I invoke like a bunch of chatters who are still welcome to say, hey, I saw Gama do this or deny it. Because at this point, everybody who was in Icy was in Nuki, and he was asking us to like go and get more people from Icy. Exhibit A from the screenshot, and he's like denying it. No, that's not true. That's irrelevant. No, I already addressed it.
That's not true.
That's snark.
It wasn't even snark. I literally I was like, dude, you are like an inverse of Aiden right now. You're an inverse because you're like obsessed with this chat war.
I think, like, the things I own, I don't think there's anything embarrassing. This is why it's just this whole thing is so weird to me. I don't think there's like anything embarrassing about like owning that. Like, yeah, I liked what you had. I liked the people used your chat, and when I saw an opportunity for people to start using my chat and I could get what I wanted, I took it. That actually makes sense. There's nothing wrong with that. So I don't understand like this like constant need to like go through like mental hoops to just like not say that.
It felt like pulling teeth for something that wasn't even like, it's not a big deal.
It's not even bad.
Yeah, dude.
The problem is he's just not like admitting it. That's like the only issue.
Yeah, he's like fighting tooth and nail against it, but like the overwhelming truth here is that it's true. Yeah, you were like siphoning people. You did want people in Icy to come talk in here, and you admitted that when you were like DMing people to come and join Nuki. You can say that it was like, oh, we're talking about the Turkey Tom stuff. Yeah, for like maybe a day, sure. And also like whatever. Everybody
acting like that's where everyone was coming from. So when I asked him, okay, can you name the people that came from that? All he had is Nosferatu.
Like,
well, because no one really came from the people's names that I think joined were like chatters from around the spaces. It's not like
and a lot of people.
I don't think it was complete randos.
Yeah, we're not just like counting like. We're not even just like counting like people who join. We're counting like everyone knows what we mean. We're talking about the people that actually use the fucking chat.
Yeah, well, it's like because it's pretty much just IC plus Nosferatu. Is Mrao in IC?
No.
I've never seen him in there.
Green downing another. Yeah, that was a weird one too. I don't know why Morale didn't want to go into IC.
Morale is he disowned me. He says that I was never from his community, so I was vindicated on that. So just to clarify, for anybody who's still
is it true you're downing another bottle right now? By the way, we're hearing.
I'm sipping some coffee. I'm just sipping. I'm having a cup of coffee right now.
Is that code word for like Hennessy? Wait, is it an Irish coffee?
No, I don't actually have any bottles of liquor in my house. I like to just get like an occasional beer too.
He's having an espresso martini. Dude, why is it like the new like white girl thing? Why are they all big on like espresso martinis now?
They like sugary drinks that give them like a lot of caffeine. They want to feel like
Sugary what?
sugar. Maybe I'm not talking about espresso. I'm just saying like white girls in general, they like White Claws because it's flavorful, it's got caffeine, it's got sugar. They want to feel drunk, but they don't want to feel tired. And it also has to be tasty.
Okay.